back again, another stream. Shit, I got some time today. I got some time today. Sunday evening. It's a blessing to be here with you guys, but I kind of got sidetracked on the stream I had few hours ago. At the end there, I kind of got a little sidetracked, so just want to finish up some things that I left off on. Mainly, well, this is partly part of it. This clip here. I didn't get to share on my last stream. I want to share this as well, provide kind of my general analysis on this, but I have a couple other clips that I want to share as well to kind of close out and end the evening and also get your guys' opinion on this. So, this is BBC Scotland, and this is the social growing up mixed race in Scotland. So, let's see what she has to say about that because she clearly looks like a quintessential mixed race woman, right? So let's hear what she has to say about this.
You've probably seen a lot of protests going on all over the world at the minute, and you may be wondering why is the conversation about race only just opening up? The truth
Now, just let me know if you guys can, if you guys can hear as well. If the volume is good, if I need to turn it up. It's funny because obviously the first thing for me is like the accent is extremely thick. I think I'm at a point now where I can definitely distinguish kind of the difference, obviously, with like, England versus Scotland. Um, Definitely listening to her tone, her voice, it's extremely thick. So some of the words kind of slip by listening to this, but let me continue on.
is, the black community is tired. Seeing the multitude of people in Scotland that are so shocked by the death of George Floyd shows how so many people are unaware of the continued oppression of black people and systemic racism that exists within.
So put on some subtitles for you guys. Respect, but I think it'll definitely be helpful. But definitely you can obviously see a social justice warrior kind of stance right off the bat. Obviously, this is don't know what country it's in. Everyone is guilty of the good they did not do. That's extreme. She's got blue hair and she's got sleeves of tattoos. So yeah, yeah, you kind of know where that's going. But yeah,
Then why is the conversation about race only just opening up? The truth is, the black community is tired. Seeing
the truth is the black community's tired. I'm looking at you, ma'am. Like your skin tone and pigment, you are not a black lady. Now you have great hair, you have beautiful hair, beautiful skin too. But you are not fully a black woman. Okay. But she's going to speak for them, of course, in this instance, saying the black community is tired. Okay. Well, the mulatto community is tired. Okay. And obviously, on that note, the white community is tired as well. They just kind of voice their concerns in a different manner, right? Obviously, within their structure, their system, within the voting polls, right? In America, where they voted for Trump, definitely that's kind of, they call that like a silent protest. Anyways, let me just continue on.
the multitude of people in Scotland that are so shocked by the death of George Floyd shows how so many people are unaware of the continued oppression of black people and systemic racism that exists within this country.
Systemic racism that exists within this country. So she's a Scottish woman, okay, and she's connecting the dots, the systemic oppression of black people. Now this is looks like a mulatto woman, right? Obviously she quintessentially looks like one, mixed race in Scotland. And the George Floyd situation happened in America, Minneapolis, right? Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States of America, but she's over there in Scotland. Don't know which area, but clearly she's connecting the dots. um
My name is Alicia, I'm 19. As a mixed race woman growing up in Glasgow, I'm not surprised by
yeah, Glasgow, right? I believe that's the capital of Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. But she's connecting the dots from the George Floyd situation, and how it connects over where in Scotland and the oppression of black people. It's her duty as a virtue signaler, social justice warrior to speak up for the community. Yeah.
the events that have taken place in America. The alienation and oppression of black people in Scotland is still very much alive today.
The alienation and oppression of black people in Scotland is very much alive today, is what she's stating. Um, that's a majority white nation, right? And from my understanding, I don't believe they've owned any slaves. I don't think they're tied to that colonial kind of history like that. Um, so yeah, you're a minority in that nation, right?
I can think of many times in my life when I felt racially profiled or othered. As a mixed race woman, I do feel it really important to point out that I can never and will never experience racism to the same extent
Yeah, she's saying as a mixed race woman, as a mulatto, let's just call a spade a spade. She can never fully experience racism to the same extent as her black friends, right? But that's why she's going so hard. That's why she's on camera, you know, speaking her piece. She's going so hard in the paint for the community, right? She's going so hard. She's got to prove herself, is what I'm getting it from this, right? Essentially doing all the work while your black buddies you're speaking about secretly behind the scenes, they're doing everything they can to get in good with the white folks, to get those good jobs, to get close to massa, to pat the massa on their back. You're doing all the work. You're taking the bullets, you're taking the punches, you're on the front lines as a mulatto. Okay, while your black friends are doing everything they can to get on massa's good side, right?
as my black friends, family, or peers. Growing up,
And she's a young woman, so I don't really, I that's what I would expect, right? But yeah.
my friends always recognised me for who I was based on my personality. However, I did experience some racial abuse in school and it left me feeling singled out at times. I've been labelled a blackie, a packy, a half caste lassie, and the list goes on and on and on. Racism wasn't something that I felt like I could speak about in my early childhood. Growing up in a predominantly white area, I didn't feel like I could challenge racist opinions or views, often being the only person of colour.
Damn, she speaks so fast, that accent is so thick. I have to have the subtitles on. Being the only person of color in situations, yeah, this is her family here. Just wanted to point out.
Art and situations. Conversations about race and colour and heritage made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. As I got older, I started to question why I had this inability to speak about racism, and that's when a few things came to my attention. I began my research and found out what white privilege, white supremacy, and systemic racism were, and how these affect the black community.
How it's affected the black community, even though literally, sweetheart, you are literally half white, partially white. I mean, that's the beautiful part about it. You literally, right here, that is your mother. Beautiful family, beautiful people, I might add. But you're gonna be on the front lines for the community, talking about white supremacy and oppression and racism against black people. It's not your fight. I mean, if you think it is, okay, good for you. But you're in for a struggle.
I began my research and found out what white privilege, white supremacy, and systemic racism were, and how these affect the black community in their daily lives. With my newfound knowledge, I began to be able to
Here we go. Yeah, yeah, beautiful people indeed. But in order to fit into the community, to get that acceptance, that's what a lot of these mulattoes find themselves in. They got to go extra hard. They got to go extra, extra hard to prove they down with the black community. They got to go extra hard in the paint. And I see this across the pond. So this is a lady in Scotland, in Glasgow. I see this all over America. Very similar situation. You got to go extra hard to prove that you're down, that you're with the family.
articulate myself a lot better in conversations about race and racism. Conversations about white supremacy often make people feel uncomfortable. People will often start assuming that you're referring to the KKK. This is often the only way that people view racism, so they assume it doesn't happen here in Scotland because there are no infamous racial hate groups here. What people don't realise is that white supremacy is a broad
Interesting. It's a white lady holding the sign up. Scotland was built on the back of slavery and Black Lives Matter. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know the full extent of the history of that, etc. But it looks like it's all white people in this audience, in this crowd. This guy right here with the orange coat, this gentleman here with the black hoodie, this guy here, pink hat over here. Like this looks like it's a majority white nation. It's all white people out there, but of course, this person, virtue signaler, she's got her gloves on, so you know for damn sure she's got their mask on, right? That's gonna protect her from the corona beer. And of course, yeah, Scotland was built on the back of slavery. Yeah.
broad term used to describe the social, political, and economic system of dominance that puts white people on top. Nobody is saying that you're responsible for the creation of this system of dominance. We are asking you to help dismantle it.
We are asking you to dismantle it. I want to go back to that because who are the we? Who is she speaking for? We are asking you to dismantle it. She's talking about systemic racism, oppression, white supremacy. One thing I'm going to add to you, and I'm going to let you know, the whole world know, power is not given. Okay, power is taken. You don't ask people for power. You take power. You take what's yours. So this lady is a young lady, okay, beautiful family, beautiful young woman. Um, but definitely falls in line with the liberalism, the social justice warrior esque kind of philosophies. You don't ask for power. You assume position, assume authority, you take it. So it's something she's obviously not that well acquainted with, right? We're asking you. You're not telling them, you're asking them. You're being very civil and polite to dismantle it. Good luck, is what I can say.
To help dismantle it. You can do this by speaking to your friends and family about the issue and by correcting people in your life where you feel you need to. We need to start having conversations that might be a little bit uncomfortable at times. As well as this, we need to push for better education out with and within Scottish schools. The fact that Scotland's history with racism, including its links with slavery and colonialism, is never once mentioned in the
In the classwork,
classroom is very worrying to me.
yeah, I mean, this is a 3-minute clip. This could be a great opportunity for her to explain how is Scotland connected with racism because I'm not aware as an American. I know how France is connected with slavery. I know how Portugal is connected, how Spain is, how the England is. Like this right here. Scotland was built on the back of slavery. Well, I mean, I'd like to see some sources because I'm not, I mean, maybe I'm just, out of the loop or ignorant to the facts, but I'm not aware of how the nation of Scotland is connected to, slavery. So I think this would be a great opportunity. 3 minutes right here, her presentation. She could give a minute or 2 minute crash course quickly to tell us the history, or I'll just go do my research myself, what I'm going to have to do. But interesting.
In life, even before the school age and the family home. The recent activism is a huge source of hope for Black people. However, it is so important, and I cannot stress this enough, that people continue with their activism. Your allyship with the movement should not end at an Instagram post. Allyship is a lifetime commitment to educating yourself.
Allyship is a lifetime commitment. And she continues to show her family what it is, as a mulatto person, a mixed race person, beautiful family. But like this is she keeps they're showing pictures of her and her parents, right? Which is beautiful family. But what's the whole deal though? Like you're advocating, you're on the front lines. You got to question them about being to stop being racist and Scotland, learn your history and blah blah blah. But I'm like, well, you're not laying out a framework for people, right? That's the whole thing. And to fight for the communita, when you yourself, I mean, I think that Scotland's a majority white nation, right? Obviously, different situation there than what is going on here in America. So that is the truth. Um, yeah, let me continue on because I'm looking at these what do you call this? These images. I don't know what the proper phrase I should say. What do they call that when you have a collection of images put together? They call that something I don't know. I can't think. It's SJW virtue signaling rhetoric. You need to dismantle racism and white supremacy. Yeah, good luck.
Yourself to doing your research and to constantly staying aware. Everyone needs to be on this together. Black people are tired of fighting this fight alone.
Black people are tired of fighting this fight alone. So you, as a mulatto woman with a white mother, you're gonna help the community accomplish their goals. What do you get out of it? Are you granted full acceptance into the community? Obviously, like I kind of I stated earlier, Black people are minority over in the British Isles, just in general, obviously in Scotland in particular. So what do you get out of it? You know, is what I'm trying to say. Do you get this favorable position? You get to be this spokesperson, this young liberal social justice warrior. I just don't ever see myself being put in that position. Now, I obviously had a different with my personal experience, my situation was a lot different. But yeah, let me continue on.
So, in the words of Rihanna, tell your friends to pull up, tell your family to pull up, tell your neighbours to pull up, tell your co-workers to pull up, tell the milkman to pull up, tell everyone you know to pull up.
Pull up, pull up. See, that's like that's black American colloquialisms right there. Pull up, you're gonna pull up. You're gonna pull up to the protest. You're gonna protest, you're gonna stand up for the community. So that's definitely black African American colloquialisms. Like I'm saying, she's surrounded by I looked at the pictures, the protest pictures right here. It's all white people standing up for your ass. All these white people here. It's a majority white nation. They're all look at this person with their gloves and their mask on. I already know they got a mask on. They got fucking gloves on. Scotland was built on the back of slavery. I don't see these sources. I'm not taught that in American history. They're not telling us about, Scotland's involvement. And she could too. I mean, she could have even in 60 seconds, she could give us a crash course, but she didn't do that. But you got to be guilty because you're white. You're involved in racism and all this stuff. They're not going to give power to you, man. Dismantle white supremacy. Power is taken and assumed. It's not given. So people like this, like I guess it's very classy and admirable, to the liberal social justice warriors, but you need to be realistic in this world we're living in, right? We're asking you to help them, help powerless people dismantle a system of power. Good luck. But like I'm saying, she has a white mother, beautiful lady, beautiful family. But this picture here, it's all white people, right? All white people here. Look at this.
Evidence that puts white people on top.
Puts white people on top. Puts the white people on top. Look at this image, you guys, of this video. All white people here marching for your black rear end. And you, as the mulatto woman, the mixed race person, the token person, you are virtue signaling. It's like it's your calling to defend the community. Now, this is obviously this is a lady in Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland, okay? Different from America, okay? And I know that, but I'm just, speaking on this. The most common, as to say, way power lose their people lose their power is by them. Yeah, I don't know. I can't read the full sign. Racism is a pandemic too. BLM. It's all white people marching for your ass, but it's not good enough. You got to get them to give up all their power, all their rights, dismantle it. Yeah, good luck. And this lady is half white, like I'm saying. She's got a white mother. You know, why does she find herself in that position? Getting on camera for BBC Scotland, the social, looks like some liberal like network kind of situation. Why does she find herself in this position? Going hard in the paint for the community when you have your own dilemma yourself in front of your eyes. I don't know if you see it, you're out there in Scotland, but in America, I'm like, shit. A lot of biracial, mixed race, mulatto people are getting picked on every day just for the fact that they're mixed race. It's not only online, it's not just conjecture and just online stuff. In real life, there's a lot of discrimination and stigma that mulatto people face. Now, I'm talking about in America. So we have our own battles, our own plight here in the States that we have to deal with. So I'm looking at you, analyzing what you're saying here, and I'm like, well, do you not have an agenda of your own? Do you not have a situation, of your own? That's what I'm just trying to think. Why does these people, a lot of these mulattoes, find themselves in a position where they have to cape so hard for black people? What do you get out of it in the end? Do you get membership access to the community? Do they fully grant you as part of the family? And then, of course, if there's something you say or you don't agree with them, they'll throw your ass out. Say, you ain't like me. You ain't from the hood like me. I'm just curious, man, because I don't know. I'm a young man, early 30s, pretty good life. And I'm analyzing this stuff. I'm looking at the online, the networks and everything, the rhetoric stuff that's going around. I'm like, shit, you cannot convince me. There's a lot of nice, good people out here, man, but you're not going to convince me to bend over backwards for the community. Those days are done.
And an Instagram post. Allyship is a lifetime commitment to educating yourself, to doing your research, and to constantly staying aware. Everyone needs to be on this together. Black people are tired of fighting this fight alone.
Black people are tired of fighting the fight alone. Now, who is on the side of the mulatto person? Okay, the mixed race person. Do the mixed race people have allies? Who's on their side? Who's fighting the fight with them? Who are their allies? Well, we see in some of these spaces they have the LGBT alphabet allies, right? Now, those I'm not connected with those spaces, but I've seen them, social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Even in here on YouTube, sad to say, they parade and masquerade around as being pro mixed race and all this shit. When you start to kind of analyze the rhetoric and the philosophies, you realize, oh shit, these people are, same sex attracted. They have an alternative agenda. It's not just purely just mixed race focused. There's a sexual component tied to it.
So, in the words of Rihanna, tell your friends to pull up, tell your family to pull up, tell your neighbors
In the words of Rihanna, the pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Yeah, that's all black colloquialism, right?
to pull up, tell your co-workers to pull up, tell the milkman to pull up, tell everyone you know to pull up.
Tell everyone to pull up, to cape, and to serve the community. You know, you know. Um, yeah.
Your efforts could inspire the next person's efforts. Action is the only way that we can amend the situation.
Yeah, interesting. I wanted to share that. That was actually going to be a part of my previous stream, but I kind of got distracted and sidetracked with some other foolishness. There was some lesbian who was in the chat who wanted attention. Hopefully she doesn't stop by right now because I don't want to hear from that person. But yeah, I wanted to share that with my last clip. I read it. I went into an article about biracial Britain. Um, so I got some more good stuff here today, right now, right? Um, Actually going to segue into that. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to be, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah. All right, guys. Just, I'm right back. I'm back. I'm back. Guess a little trivia question. Do you guys know where that tune is from? For those of you who are in the chat, shout out to all you guys in the chat. J4 Conversations. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you here. Yeah, definitely. Always appreciate your advice and expertise, what you have to offer to us. A lot of us younger folks, myself, Magic Mulata, we're both in the same age range. We definitely look up to you and your expertise, and we value your opinion on a lot of these matters. So we definitely encourage you to continue to make videos, upload content, and to share, you know. So appreciate you being here. And Toenail Breaker, appreciate you being here as well. Say, I think this woman is speaking from her ass and has no study of Scotland history. Many Scotland people were exiled in slavery by the English. Yeah. You're talking about not the current woman on the screen, but the woman I had on prior. Yeah, she was a young lady, so I do cut her some slack. Obviously, a lot of the indoctrination happens within the educational system, right? University system, etc. So, yeah, there's a lot of that indoctrination and the kind of social justice warrior, liberalism, etc. Now, when we say social justice warrior, it's a very broad term, but I think a lot of you, most of you guys know what that means. Basically, they're people who themselves are kind of privileged, but they're guilted. They're guilted into fighting everyone else's battles for them, and it gives them a sense of pride. It's like a virtue signaler. They feel very virtuous. They feel accomplished, like they're somebody fighting for everyone else. And so, a social justice warrior, you know, definitely she felt I feel like she definitely falls in line with that. So it has a system racism is a term adopted for Black Americans. Um, I would be like to see where the system racism was in Scotland. Yeah, it was all white people, right? From the images I shared with you guys, it was all white people, which is astounding. You know, it's like, and to her, she seemed like beautiful family. Their family's intact, mother and father's there. She has a sister. She looks like she's having a pretty good life, but it's like it's her duty, her calling to kind of fight Black people's battle, and she does out of touch, out of reality with the situation in America. The younger generation, younger mulattoes like myself. Well, I'm millennial. I'm an adult, young adult, but even younger than me. A lot of us, man, we're getting punked and picked on by the community, and there's nobody speaking up for us. We're just supposed to accept it. If we say anything, you know, and talk about our experiences, oh, we just don't want to be Black. You just anti-Black. You don't want to be Black, and all this stuff. And we're not supposed to talk about our experiences, right? And so I don't know about her situation being in Scotland, but definitely have to look into that more. So systemic racism is a term adopted Black Americans. She never pointed out systemic racism in Scotland. Yeah, I think you just retyped it. Yeah. No doubt. Hey, what's going on? Here we are together again. Good evening, everyone. And then we have hybrid in the house. I think we have this one right here. Yeah.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Definitely for the real ones, for the mulattoes, the ones who are serious about this. So I'm going to continue on, play this clip. This clip is actually pretty old. Obviously, it's a TikTok clip. Other people have talked about it. I'm going to talk about it. Very beautiful woman, I might add. The biracial hair, the unique hair. Definitely, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna rate her going from a scale, 1 to 10. Very attractive woman. She's definitely, people, men, they have their type. She's definitely my type, right? So, biracial woman explains why she wants the Black community to stop labeling her as Black. Let's go right into this.
What do you mean? Because I always say thanks. Like, I think it's a compliment. I'm not really like too sure. But like, what do y'all mean when you say I look Black? Because I know it's not my skin color. I'm definitely melanated, but I don't have Black skin. So where am I Black at?
She doesn't have Black skin, right? Because the thing is, the colorism in the community is like it it's out of this world. I mean, the community is so fixated on color. They call it, there's a term they have for it. It's called color struck. Being color struck. She is not a dark skinned Black person, right? And when you're in the community, having dark skin, you are the standard. You are the kind of model representation, the model for a quote Black person. She doesn't fit that criteria. She is lighter skinned, she's brown, okay? And so this is what she's basically saying. Like, she's like, "You look Black." She's like, "Well, no, not really." And I agree with her. No, she looks like a mulatta person, right?
Because like I'm confused. Like I know I'm like Blackish. I consider myself brown. I'm gonna call myself brown, whether y'all like it.
Yeah, she is brown. Her tone and pigmentation is brown. There's people who are in all over Asia with her complexion, even some a little darker. There's people all over the Middle East and the Arab world with her complexion and a little darker. So she is a brown person. Even like I said, South America, in Central South America, there's people with her complexion even darker. So she is literally a brown skinned person, right? Yeah.
But like, where am I black at? Because I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I look white. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I look white, but I don't think I look black either. So please let me know. Please let me know how y'all think I look black. Cause
So I know you guys like to compare me to like Dr. Umar or whoever that is, but which is fine for the most part, but do not compare me to him when you're talking about like the whole chocolate milk statement. Like, I'm a human being.
Her hair looks real fly right here too. I like her hair. But so chocolate milk biracial, because Dr. Umar was basically saying we don't exist. We're not, no such thing as biracial, no such thing as half black. I can pull up that quote or get a soundbite of it, but he said basically Dr. Umar, the prince of Papa John's Pizza, was saying that no such thing as half black. Anything black is dominant, which is bullshit. It's a lie. It's part of black supremacist rhetoric. It basically saying anything mixed with black is black, but you have to identify with black. If you're mixed with black and something else and you don't identify with black, oh, they're going to look at you as a problem. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So she's coming to terms with that. The hypocrisy of the community, and it has right here, black TikTok community. Yeah, that's got to be a fun place. And of course, it says dehumanization, Dr. Umar, biracial mixed. So the thing is, I'm obviously here in the YouTube spot, but starting to venture off into the TikTok world and all the other, obviously, Facebook and then Instagram. It's a lot of intersectionality horse shit. TikTok probably as well, for sure. But the younger people, if you want access, I'm a millennial. So this woman, I'm pretty sure she's a Zennial, she's Generation Z, probably her early to mid 20s. If you want access to the younger generation, TikTok is the largest platform. That's where you go. So a lot of the biracial people are there having these discussions. I'm kind of out of the loop. I'm doing some other shit. I got a full-time job, another part-time. I got a family, no kids of my own, but I mean, I have a family that I connect with, and I have other stuff I'm doing, man. I'm trying to work out every day. I have other hobbies. So, but I'm blessed to be here speaking to you guys. But what I'm saying is that TikTok is definitely, from what my observation, um, a lot of the younger folks are over there speaking their piece, which is a great thing.
I am not cow mucus. Like, y'all really are ignorant as fuck. If you truly believe mixing white milk with chocolate milk is the same thing as a black and a white person having a child, you're truly delusional and ignorant, and I need you to seek help. Like, seriously, seek help.
Because what it is, because being a mulatto, we're still the minority within a minority in a nation. Black people are a minority in America. That's why I don't use broad and ambiguous terms like people of color or minority. You're not going to hear me ever use those type of terms because that doesn't mean anything. Very broad and ambiguous. So because like she has it even hashtagged here, it says black TikTok community. So you are being a biracial mixed person, you're a minority within the community. So she's having to explain herself to all these blacks who want to control your ass, want to tell you how to identify, you got to serve them. And, you know, and she's like, well, I'm not really, she's like, I'm not black like that. I'm like mixed. I'm like brown, which she is. Yeah.
Because that just sounds so ignorant to me. I can't even grasp the idea. Am I? Or am I mixed? Mm-hmm.
Says, I don't know why people are mad that I acknowledge that I don't look black. It's like y'all are trying to have an identity crisis for me. And it's who is y'all? It's black people. Let's be clear. If you don't identify with them 100% fully, a lot of them, they're going to be insulted by that. But it's really their fault. They're the ones who literally let you know every damn day you're not like them. You ain't struggling from the hood just like them. And you acknowledge that or say, hey, look, I'm different. I'm unique. I'm mixed. I'm not like you. I get that. I accept who I am. Not confused at all. Then they still have a problem with that. They want to control you. I'm going to share a clip on that with Calvin Robinson because he articulately exemplifies it perfectly in a way I can't. I'm still learning, how to kind of put my notes together and express myself in a way. I like Calvin Robinson over there in the UK. Uh, so I'm gonna share a clip.
See, even they know. Even they know I'm not black.
I want to take a picture of you.
Wait, but no, I don't think I look like any West or South African, which is where my blood would come from. I don't think I look like any of them. I'm not related to Aboriginal Australians, but I think if you were to like align me with a certain ethnic group based on like full body features, I feel like I'd align more with the Aboriginal Australians than I would with a European or an African. Like, that's it. Like, I don't look black. I have a black person nose, but that's it. Where do you guys think I look black at? Other
She looks like a quintessential mulatta woman, from my observation. When I first seen her, I'm like, yeah, you look like a mixed race woman, you know. And the only people who have an issue with you, just like there's a channel here, it's the B mindset or something like that. I think it's supposed to be like the billionaire mindset or something. He shared this clip and gave his commentary. He was going in on her. He was hating on her for identifying as biracial. Because especially black men are the main ones who are going to hate on her for doing that because they want access to these women. So they need these women to only identify with black because they feel like they're losing something. They're going to lose these women to white men and other groups of men. So it's like sexual politics essentially. Because black women are going to be competing with her because they already have a term for her. They call her the preference, right? All the dark skinned black women, the femcells and the divestors, they call women like her the preference, right? She's the desired woman. I already told you from the start for sure. Um, so yeah.
than my nose. Like, do I look black now? Because I don't think so. I don't think so.
How are you going to tell me about the privileges that I have and you don't? Like, no offense, but I have privileges that black women don't have. And that's not because I'm a light skin, it's because I'm white blooded. So can we just stop acting like biracials are black? Because we all know that we're not. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm really happy with TikTok, what I'm seeing over there with the younger generation asserting themselves. Like I'm saying, this YouTube thing, man, this seems like this is like an Xer zone or some shit. I don't know. A lot of Xers in this space, especially the people that I've kind of followed on like before I kind of entered into the kind of whole mixed race discussion. Um, a lot of the content creators are Xers, right? The kind of top leading content creators. Just Pearly Things. She's a Z, but she was from TikTok, but they kept, canceling or closing her account or suspending or whatever, terminating her account. So she started up on TikTok. Same thing with Amelia. She's conservative young mulatta woman. She was on TikTok, but they kept, TikTok, there's a lot of censorship, right? Especially if you're a conservative. So they delete people's accounts. So then they jumped over to YouTube and then they got a big following, almost, million subscribers, etc. What was I going to say? So yeah, so in the YouTube space, it's primarily, from what I'm seeing, a lot of top creators are like Xers, people older than me. Obviously, depending on the content you view, the age range, it varies, but TikTok, from what I'm seeing, it's definitely the Zennials kind of have that market for sure. And I love the fact that I'm seeing people like her. People like her gives me kind of faith, gives me confidence. And there's men as well I could share in the future, clips of biracial men speaking. Like there's people who are on camera. They're not like a lot of these cowards on YouTube. They don't even show you. You don't even know what the hell they look like. On TikTok, you have people who are on camera showing their face, telling you, hey, I'm biracial. They're asserting themselves. That makes me really, really happy. So
Sorry, but I'm just convinced y'all see pretty biracial people and you're like, oh, she's black. But if I was ugly and a bitch, y'all wouldn't claim me though, right? Y'all would not claim me if I was ugly and a bitch. So
she's talking about the men. Yeah, for sure. If she was ugly and a bitch, yeah, biracial is not black. Exactly the comment that's right there. Yeah, because she's a very attractive woman. Okay, So of course, all the black men, the Pookies and Ray Rays and all them, they're all going to claim her as black. Yeah, because they want access to her. That's why you can find the people like Dr. Umar Johnson. He'll try to claim her. The B Money Mindset, I think this channel's name is. He'll try to claim her. He was talking crap about her. He was mad because she claims biracial, not just solely black. Um, it's her right to claim whatever she wants to claim. And yeah, like I'm saying, they'll pick and choose who they want to be black. If you're kissing their ass, or you develop a technology or some medical innovation, or if you're running for political office, yeah, they'll claim you. They'll claim Cory Booker. They'll claim Barack Obama. They'll claim Kamala Harris. Like all the black queens, all the dark skinned queens, we're all talking about my vice president looks like me, talking about Kamala Harris, right? They'll claim her, yeah, for a win to boost their ego. That's a black queen, Kamala Harris. So of course, when they can claim all your wins and all your victories, but if you're an ugly person, you're, uneducated, you're not attractive, or you're just not a producer, you don't have any excellence attached to you, yeah, then they'll be like, well, I don't know you, shit. You ain't from the hood. You ain't down with Pookie. Oh man, you don't listen to Nipsey Hussle. Oh shit, dog. You ain't listen to Nipsey Hussle. You don't like Kanye. Oh man, you ain't from the hood, dog. Shit, you ain't black. You got a white mom, man. You ain't black. See, that's how it goes. They want to pick and choose and tell us who we are. But now today, as you see with social media and TikTok, YouTube, etc., we're telling you who we are. And there's a lot of people who have an issue with that, but that's fine because this is not going to stop, right?
The picking and choosing just doesn't work for me.
I'm in the same spot, like I just alluded to. The picking and choosing, it doesn't work for me either. So I agree with this woman 100%. The community wants to pick and choose who they claim as being black and not black. And I'm telling you, look, in my channel, what I'm doing in my space I have, yeah, sure, it's a small space. It's going to grow. I'm going to pick and choose the good people that I want to not only represent me, but to be able to have a voice over here in this space. So I'm going to pick and choose. I'm expressing that influence and that power as well. I'm not going to let other people tell me who I am. I'm going to tell you who I am. And I agree with what this woman's saying. I don't play that whole picking and choosing game where today I'm black, tomorrow I'm not black, and blah, blah, blah. It's flip flopping, switching every damn day. They want to take all your wins and all your victories. But then when you're just an average guy working out here, hustling and, doing your thing, all of a sudden, oh, you from the suburbs, you ain't from the hood, but the masses gonna like you better than me. Oh man, you ain't black like me, you ain't from the hood, man, because massa likes you better. So I'm not playing that picking and choosing game with none of you motherfuckers. I'm gonna just be straight up.
Not black. I am biracial. I am privileged. I'm sorry, black community, that y'all don't have the privileges that like biracial people do, but like, stop calling us black when we're not. Because if we were,
And not only that, like, I'm sorry, yeah, you guys don't have the privileges. You don't have my light skin. You don't have my privileges, but I mean, that's on you. That's your fault. Consult your mama and your papa. It's not my responsibility to help you make you feel better about yourself, right? And I agree with what she's saying as well. Like, do I have privileges? Sure. I can connect with a lot of white people. Sure. I'm half white. It's part of my heritage, my lineage. I don't know you shit. That's my position now. Obviously, there's older people who listen to me, different generation. We refer to that as a generational nuance. So my whole position would be just to kind of sit back and listen, observe, and understand how the younger people are going through this world, how they're navigating, how they're seeing things, because things are drastically changing. And this woman is probably a decade younger than me. So you're kind of getting a glimpse from someone who's even younger than me. And I'm telling you, man, as our numbers grow, people like her, people like me, we're asserting ourselves into this world and saying, look, we're going to tell you who we are. We're not going to allow you to tell us who we are.
we're black, we would be treated like y'all, and we're not. So make it make sense, please.
And the thing is, we're not treated like black people by black people, right? There's a lot of stigma and discrimination because we ain't down, we ain't from the hood, we ain't down with the hood, we don't listen to Nipsey Hussle, we ain't from the hood. Oh man, you grew up in the suburbs, dog. So we ain't like that. So of course, black people, they're gonna treat us differently, right? Nobody wants to have that discussion. But over here on the Mulatto Vanguard, we have that discussion. So
So, where do y'all get the idea that biracials have to explain to you what's wrong with being biracial? First of all, what's wrong with it in general? Second of all, what makes you think we have to tell you or we should tell you, even if you ask nicely? Like, literally, so many biracials have made it clear that we are not comfortable here, and yet y'all still antagonize us for what? Y'all say you're still gonna make more biracial babies for what? Y'all don't realize how harmful this world is in every single racial community for biracial people. Y'all really don't give a fuck. You're only thinking about yourself. You really don't care about how that affects the biracial children. And it shows, and it's sad. In every single race who is stating this, all of you are pathetic, like truly pathetic. Like, you do not care about biracial lives, black lives, whatever you want to call them. Because if you really cared, you would stop making us. Thanks. Not to mention, you'd stop making us, and you would realize that we don't owe you an explanation.
well, I think it's great that they're making us. I definitely applaud that. It's going to help us, greatly. You're in a, this is an American talking. Well, me, I'm an American. She is too. Um, you are in a representative republic, right? You are in a social democracy where the majority rules and the minority loses. So the fact that people are going out of their way creating us is a good thing for the group. Now, what type of mindset they bring in, what type of philosophies and ideologies they present to us can be a little troublesome, right? We have to examine that, especially when you look about these divester types who, I don't welcome divestors over here, not on my channel. I'm not interested in the kind of, mental health. I'm an advocate for mental health, but the divestors, no. There's other people, there's other biracial people who advocate for black women. You know who they are. They publicly stated, I'm an advocate for black women and divestors and, gay black men. Come to my channel. We're all good. Not over here. Not in the Mulatto Vanguard. Different agenda over here. So I encourage people to go out and create us. Thank you. You're helping us a lot. Um, but yeah, this would, let me continue on.
We were never supposed to be here. Y'all really decided one day, oh, I'm about to fuck some other species and then create a new one. No, we didn't ask to fucking be here because y'all can't stay in your place. We exist. Don't ask us what's the problem. Do some fucking self-reflection and ask you what's wrong with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny because I went into some like Discord chat, super conservative, but then there's a lot of racist, obviously in the spot, kind of how it is. A lot of those conservative circles, because it plays out a different way. Obviously, liberal circles is racist, but they're kind of more covert, and it shows itself in a different manner. But one of the conservative racist guys was like, "Oh man, you were created because your parents didn't, or your dad didn't he didn't love himself. He hated being black. So he went to get a white woman. So that plays a role, man. People see it, man. People of other groups, they see that shit. And it's sad. It's almost embarrassing. You're like, "Oh, how do I explain away this?" You're kind of right, but at the same time, you're kind of not right. But yeah.
Why are y'all creating a new race of people? And I will say it's a new race because
We're not a new race, ma'am. So I got to correct you here. I'm the mulatto historian. Now that's a title I have given myself. Nobody's appointed me or designated that. I'm just taking the mantle myself because you could be on TikTok. I know you're talking to blacks. You're crying to blacks. Look, most of the people for the 6 months I've been uploading content who have kind of had an issue with things I'm saying are not even black people. Like, I have a lot of black people who like me. Believe it or not, I'd say particularly black men, um, who I definitely probably connect with for sure. Um, Obviously, they're not gonna like the fact that I'm identifying a lot of them independently from them because they want access to women like her, of course, because she's like the top of the pyramid as far as black men. Um, what am I getting into saying this? Let me think. I think I'm just kind of talking, ranting a little bit here, but let me continue on because I don't want to say something I'm gonna regret.
As two races, all y'all are singular. So
Yeah, what I was gonna say is we're not a new race of people. Like I said, why I'm here, the kind of self-appointed mulatto historian, we have centuries old history in West Africa, the Gold Coast, in Europe, as I shared with Chevalier. And also, I'm going to talk about Alexandro Medici very soon. And also in England, we have a mulatto history. So we're not really a new race of people. We are essentially asserting ourselves in the kind of historical manner. You know, we're a fast growing, group of people. We've always been around is my whole thing. And that a lot of us now are publicly, acknowledging who we are fully. We're not just telling our story through the black lens. We realized, hey man, a lot of black people are telling us we're not black, you know? So what are we just supposed to just challenge every black person? I respect that. I respect every black person who says I'm not black. At first, several years ago, I kind of pushed back and I would, when black people would say that, I was kind of upset, to be honest. I was like, wait a second, I'm black too, man. Yeah, I got a white mom, but I'm black too. But I'm in a really good place now in my life where I'm like, look, I accept the fact that I'm not the same as you. So just respect who I am, and I can respect who you are and your history and your people and your culture. And, it should be something that's mutual. There should be a mutual respect with that. But you definitely see there's kind of some tension with this younger generation because a lot of times you'll find that the communitas still wants to hold on to the mulatto people. They still feel like, well, we still need you. We need to claim all your victories. We need you so we can have access to you, so we can have lighter skinned children, etc. And they need, the numbers for political reasons, socio kind of economic reasons as well. They need the resources, the white capital that comes with it. They need the influence, the social influence. They need the numbers, Um,
just stop. Y'all are so disrespectful. So disrespectful. It's disgusting.
yeah, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I have one more clip. So it says they're frustrated because their population numbers are declining. Thank you. Yeah, I just stated that for sure. Thank you. So they have this need to feel like they have to latch onto us. They need us. They got to keep us. They can't have us going anywhere because politically, I mean, in America, they have little to no influence. America is basically a big menstrual show, where black people like Kanye West, who is a complete disaster the last several months. People like Kanye West, who are just, buffoons out here dancing around, embarrassing himself. So they're just singing songs, throwing balls through a hoop, dancing around, politically no influence. Says there's other demographics that are increasing while they're decreasing. Exactly. I've stated that earlier on my stream. The Latino population is drastically increasing. And then, of course, the Asian demographic as well, East Asian, South Asian, etc. They need black, white, biracial, mulatto numbers. Exactly. They need our numbers, our social capital, and they need our finances as well, our resources, right? They need that adjacency to whiteness, which we have. We are literally a hybrid people, half white, and they need that as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. They're losing bad out here in the economic, socio, a political playing field in America. They're losing bad. The communitas losing bad. what the major agenda you see with a lot of them is this reparations debate. And of course, they'll jokingly mock us and talk about, well, you ain't going to get none of this reparations money. You motherfuckers are not going to get reparations. You can timestamp this, mark this. If you do get it, I want you guys to get it. Good luck. You know, but I'm very doubtful you're not going to get it. You guys are way too tribalistic. You're not going to get it. But that's really what I see as far as politically on the playing field, because most of you guys just want acceptance from white people, like I've stated prior before. Acceptance from white people is really what you guys, what's on the agenda for you guys. So I have one more clip I'm going to share with you guys before I call it an evening here. But yeah. In the meantime, I will, of course, be right back. Gonna take a quick break and I'll see you guys on the other end. Just give me 1 minute. All right, guys. So here we go. This is gonna be a last clip for the evening. Definitely wanted to share this. This was uploaded a few weeks ago. A month ago, sorry. This was uploaded a month ago. Biracial isn't black and other ridiculousness from TikTok. I'm telling you, man, TikTok, I'm venturing off into that space. I'm seeing a lot of discussions, plural being had over there. So shout out to Flowers again in the chat. They're frustrated. Oh, I think I mentioned that one already. Very true. Many of us mulatto Americans are working to reinstate mulatto identity in the United States Census for better political representation and awareness and protection and safety for mulattoes. There's no safety in the communita. The communita is boldened to attack you, not only verbally, but physically. For me, obviously, I know how to fight. I'm very confident and assertive in myself, but I'm seeing the verbal, the rhetoric, the conspiracy theories with a lot of your pro-wax. They're so bold out here, calling people half-breeds and mutts and making all type of racial slurs. Now, if I were to start walking around calling them monkeys or cockroaches, all of them will start crying, you're an anti-black, you're racist, and all this foolishness. See how it's a one-way type of situation where they can call you out your name, but if you call them out their name, you're the bad guy. You're the racist. So eventually, a lot of you guys, a lot of you mulattoes, you're going to have to stop being fucking cowards and to start to fight back and to start to speak up. So let me continue on. Let me play this clip here. So I think this is pretty interesting. Let's hear what he has to say about this TikTok phenomena with biracial people, because there's a lot of stuff going on over on TikTok. So let's go.
Year for a very low price, but you'll also be helping the channel and helping to support a lot of great creators that are on Nebula. I want to say thank you to Curiosity Stream and Nebula for sponsoring the video, and now back to the video.
I still disagree with this take for a variety of reasons. I just feel like a lot of biracial people are
Says, let's read the comment. Says, we are biracial, not black. We have different experiences and appearances. Yes, we do. We have 2 or more on the census, period. Yeah. This is over on TikTok. Biracial person asserting themselves, saying we're biracial, not black. And who do you find that has an issue with that? The communita. They want to have this control over your ass where they can throw you in and out of blackness whenever they please. You don't own us. We're not mules. I'm not. I mean, multiracial and ghetto golden goddess, ghetto grandma, they're mules for the communita. Let them be pro-wax. I'm not. You're not going to tell me who and what I am. I'm going to tell you who I am, right?
still being treated primarily as black by society. Like there's obviously layers where
It's funny. He says you're primarily being treated as black by society. This guy with his bonnet on, laying in his bed, all looking all zesty and shit. He acts like he knows our experiences, right? We're treated like we are mulatto people. We're treated like we're biracial. We're not treated like we're black. He doesn't get that. He doesn't have our experience. He doesn't live in our lives, doesn't live in our skin. He doesn't have our experiences, but he wants to speak for us like, oh no, you're not a biracial. You're just a black. Let's see.
where it comes to like colorism and privilege and stuff like that. Because like no one's gonna look at like Wabdad 4000 and be like, oh well, you're not black because you're mixed, you know? Like no one's gonna say
Well, what the hell is he mixed with? It's not a mulatto. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Biracial and mixed, it doesn't always mean mulatto. That's why over here in the Mulatto Vanguard, I am extremely specific when I say mulatto. Mulatto means black, white. Obviously, this guy on the screen who they're saying is mixed or biracial, whatever he is, he's clearly not a mulatto person. Okay. That's why I'm specific over here on this channel, the Mulatto Vanguard. I cater to a mulatto audience. I cater to mulatto people. My mission is to help grow the community, to learn, and to teach people.
that. You probably didn't even know he was mixed. But he is like Filipino and black.
There you go. Filipino and black. He's Blasian. Yeah, he's not a mulatto. So that's why you can't let people confuse the issue. He's like, oh, you probably didn't even know he's mixed. Yeah, even Pharrell, you know, the rapper Pharrell, he has that song called Happy and a bunch of other hit songs. Pharrell Williams. Yeah, he's like half Filipino. He's a Blasian. He's half black, half Asian or something. Even Tyga, I believe, is a Blasian. He's a rapper. Tyga, I think he's half Vietnamese, half black. Saweetie is half Asian, half black. A lot of prominent entertainers in America are Blasian people. Yeah, and they're not mulattoes. Okay, sir. So that's why there's a level of specificity over here in this channel. I'm very direct and specific. So
He's both of these things.
I apologize. I don't have a premium account, so I got these advertisements here.
All right, so I have been wanting to talk about.
So this guy looks a little zesty. I think he's married and has kids or whatever, but he touches himself. He plays with his hair. I know he's bumped heads with Black Manosphere people. So a lot of the Black Manosphere people don't really, they don't like him because he doesn't like them. A lot of people don't like Black Manosphere. So let's call a spade a spade. But he's under the impression that all biracials are all black. So their liberal agenda, like I said, they're losing social capital. They're losing political influence in America with the other demographics that are rising. So they need biracials to fight for them and to only claim black. Only problem is you're not checking these people who are out of line. That's my whole thing. All you black people who want to run around and say, well, biracial is just black because the police look at you as just black. You guys ain't checking these other blacks who are trying to punk and bully these biracials, mulattoes. So we're the ones who got balls, who got to get up here and speak up for the rest of us. Because there's clearly no protection in the community. You guys don't protect yourselves. You don't have a code of conduct. You guys sing and dance songs about harming yourselves. No other community does that. Okay. Asian people don't sell hip hop records about hurting their own. Some of the Chicanos do. Okay, but they've copied you guys. They've copied your model. They have called Chicano rap. They've copied the hip hop model. They're singing songs about hurting their own people. I don't see white people doing it or Arabic people, to be honest with you, but it's a whole nother discussion. For mulatto people, there's no protection. A lot of these blacks are out of line, out of pocket with biracials. And now biracials are asserting themselves, saying, hey, we're different. We're not like you. And this guy, he wants to say, well, the police still gonna see you as black, so you still black. Why is he saying that? Because they need us for political influence. They're losing bad out here. This is America. They're losing bad. All the Latinos, the Arabic, Middle Eastern people, Asian people, their numbers are rising. Their wealth is rising. Home ownership, businesses, etc. They're rising in society. While these people, gentleman speaking, he's probably part of the elite, I guess, for in the academia, realm. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. They're trying to hold on for biracials for dear life. It's not looking good. So let me continue on.
The absurd biracial isn't black discourse for a long time. It's literally because one of my first videos to get any traction was my video on black men and colorism. And
Black men and colorism. Yeah, the thing is, biracial is not black. And you know who let us know that? Blacks. But he's not I mean, I guess with his this channel, this video he asserted, and it's funny because half of the video, or like 30-40%, is based on biracial isn't black. But he filled it's a 33-minute video. Most of it he's talking about some other crap. So I'm just going to the meat of the matter. But of course he put that in the title because he knows he's going to get a lot of views. This is a YouTuber who's got close to 500K subscribers, which is most in a lot of these black winosphere guys, black winosphere. They don't like him because he's challenged them. He's a male feminist, liberal guy. So
You know, I'm very proud of that video overall. I'll probably re-engage with that, a lot of that subject matter at some point in time. But one of the things that hit me was people saying that Vin Diesel, well, first those people that were surprised that Vin Diesel was black, which is
well, looking at this image, Vin Diesel is not black. He's clearly a mulatto person. He has African black admixture. Look at his skin pigment. Okay, his hair is the indicator that he has African blood admixture. You look at him here as an adult, he is clearly not a black African person. Everywhere on the African continent he walks around, buddy there, every black person will not claim him to be black. They'll say he's a white man. In America, he's extremely ambiguous. Most people will say he is a Caucasian person, or or they use other terms. I don't want to use the term because I've heard the idiot Golden Goddess say spicy white. They're referring to like Italian or something. Golden Goddess is such a piece of shit. She's so stupid. I can't use the vocabulary she uses. So I'll just basically generally say he's an ambiguous person, okay? A mulatto person. But I'm saying everywhere in Africa, they're going to claim he's white. So he's not a black person. This does not look like a black. Come on, guys. Look at the image. Look at here. Tell me. Does this look like a black person to you? To me, it doesn't. He has some admixture. Okay.
I guess he himself is a bad example of engaging with the issue of how we are trying to steal blackness away from biracial people, because Vin Diesel clearly does not put a lot of effort into identifying with his blackness.
He doesn't put any effort into identifying with blackness. The funny thing is when biracial people do that, y'all mock them. Y'all mock them. You mock biracial people who are proud to put in effort to their blackness, i.e., Drake, the most famous rapper on the market. When Drake tries to put in effort to his blackness, y'all savages mock him. Same thing with Stephen Curry. I've seen some comments people made online with Steph Curry talking about, oh, he's trying to put braids in his hair to try to look more black, look more hood. You guys mock him. You mock biracials and mulattoes putting effort into their blackness. What do you expect when they don't want to identify with you? What do you expect?
But there's so many comments in that video talking about how such and such isn't black. They're biracial. And then there's some videos on this platform, some by people I fucks with, that are operating on some of the most like
He fucks with them. I love that how he says that. He's got to still keep it with the hood, even with his PhD and the books he's wrote. You know, he fucks with them, right? Yeah, this is a guy that I'm definitely gonna follow, right?
I guess he himself is a bad example of engaging with the issue of how we are trying to steal blackness away from biracial people, because Vin Diesel clearly does.
Yeah, that's literally the dilemma today. You see with the younger generation. Literally stole blackness from the biracial people, told them they can't be black. I'm one of the guys who's like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. I got my own thing going on. I just, now that I have it going on, I don't want to see you coming over here telling me the police still gonna see you with black. You still black like us. Oh man, you can't leave us. We need you. We need to use you, dog. You know, the Hispanics, they don't mess with us like that. Asians don't like us. We need the biracial. See, for a guy like him, mostly the men, they want the women. Okay, they want the women to identify, like I said, Umar Johnson, the rest of them, so they can have access to the women. Now, with the women, the black women, I don't really see them pushing biracials like that. A lot of times when I'm going online looking at this stuff, it's mainly the men who are going out of their way to claim biracials. And it's because they want the women. They want access to the women. They don't give a shit about the men. They're looking at us like we're going to serve you. I'm not serving this motherfucker. I don't know this guy. And most of them, I mean, I don't owe you anything. Okay, this is a new day, 2023. I don't owe you nothing, dude. Okay, reciprocity. What do I get in return? Okay, just this. All you down with the hood? You get a nigga hall pass. It ain't cutting it. Okay,
It's not.
there's better offers out here. Even like I'm saying, the funny thing is what they'll tell you is oh well you because you're not identifying with black, you just want to be white or you don't want to be black. Well, no, actually, I'm half black. You know, I'm a mulatto person, proud of my heritage. I just don't got to do business directly with you. I can bypass you and go to the continent. There's other people I can connect with. I don't need you have no authority in this matter. In other words, you got to come to me if there's something you need. I'm not going to you, right? Because you're just going to turn around and go to Massa and get on your knees and beg him. I know this man, the way he's speaking. I haven't looked at his credentials and where he was educated or trained at, but I kind of know where a lot of this stuff falls in line with.
Put a lot of effort into identifying with his blackness, but there's so many comments in that video talking about how such and such isn't black, they're biracial. And then there's some videos on this platform, some by people I fucks with, that are operating.
I hate that he says that because he's clearly an educated man, very articulate, probably he's more educated than me. He's older than me. He's more articulate than me. I hate the fact that he says that. I fucks with them. These are people I fucks with. That is some hood booger ghetto ratchet bullshit. He's trying to kind of connect with the scumbags in the hood. That's basically what that's coming from. I fucks with them. He's trying to show that he has the same vernacular as all the little hood boogers. But of course, they're gonna look up to him because he's black. He from the hood. Oh, biracial. Oh, you with the white folks. I don't trust you, man. But they trust him, right? Because he talks like that. He's from the hood. But let's go on.
On some of the most like underdeveloped analysis that I've ever seen around concepts and construction of race, at least in America. Now, I know that being biracial is a different thing outside of America. I know in the UK, there's a lot more of a understanding that, you know, biracial, I think they even call them colored or mulatto is a thing.
They call us mulattoes in America too, dummy. We had a whole racial classification up until the 1930s from 1790 mulatto designation in the United States of America all the way up to 1930. So he's like, oh, I think in the UK they call them mulattoes or coloreds. Coloreds is South Africa, dude. In the UK and Europe in general, they're referred to as mixed race. Okay. Um, he's trying to act ignorant to the fact. And yeah.
Thing. There's a whole community. There is a category for being colored within South Africa, which is, by the way, completely a product of apartheid, but we'll hold off on that. But here in America, it's basically black and not black.
And you see, that's because they need us. They need us as their mules to serve their ass. What do we get out of it? Nothing. It's funny. You look at this guy. Look at his t-shirt on. Christmas t-shirt with white Santa Claus, you know, Christmas tree celebrating white Jesus, but he's got the dreadlocks on and he fucks with y'all. Y'all, I fucks with y'all. I'm from the community, y'all. But of course he's saying, well, you know, the biracial people, you know, in America is different. You either black or you not black, you white or something like that. He's basically trying to put you in a box, say you got to be black, and if you're not black, well, you're something else. Oh, well, they're not going to claim you. The whites, you're not part of them. So we have all these Latinos all over the place. This video was published, what? I already said a month ago. This video was published a month ago. And you see how stupid he's acting ignorant to the fact that we have an entire rising demographic of Latino people who are not black and who are not white. They might be a little admixture of both, but they also have indigenous admixture. Completely different demographic, but he's trying to put things in a you know, dichotomy. a binary situation where it's just black and white, right? He's not accounting for the fact that we have Asian Americans in America. It's only black and you only white. No, we don't have to claim your ass. Just like a lot of you don't claim. He needs to talk to all the pookies and the pro whacks in the hood boogers. He needs to talk to them instead of sitting here trying to tell biracials. I'm not even going to go into the comment section because you got a lot of biracials in the comment section caping and shit. I'm not going to embarrass. No.
Now, this is not true, obviously, but if you understand your critical race theory, that's what we're talking about. Now,
If you understand your critical race theory, but he doesn't go into it, of course. He's not going to provide any data, citations. It's all anecdotes, right? That's what it is. It's all his own personal theory. There's no other information he's providing. If you go into critical race theory, we ain't going to go into that. We're just supposed to take his word for it. While he's literally, his paycheck comes from massa. I'm telling you guys, his paycheck comes from white people, but he's going to tell biracials, oh, those people who pay me, they don't claim y'all. So you just got to accept your spot within our community. Let us, victimize you for being light skinned because we wish we had light skin like you. So just stay here in our community. Man, people like this are hilarious, man.
Now this is a highly online. This is TikTok, Lipstick Alley, the Shade Room, like places where you can, without showing your face, say really dumb shit.
Well, I'm showing my face. Obviously not right now. I got an avatar on, but and I'm not saying no dumb shit. I'm telling your ass. Yeah, biracial is not black. We are a mixture of black people. But damn it, the community here in America, your people you should be speaking to, they're throwing us under the bus. And a lot of the biracial people, mulattoes, they're punks. They accept it. They accept their position. They're fighting for their position in the community. You got people like me who are sane, who are basically saying, look, let's start from scratch. Let's create our own. Let's develop something. It's small now. I got less than 10 people watching currently at this moment. It's going to grow over time. The more effort I put into it, I'm not fighting for my place in the community that will have basically zero wealth in the next, 20, 30 years. And he'll be good, because white folks are paying him, so he's good. He's good. Massa's giving him some crumbs. He's good. My whole thing is, why are you talking to biracials? Talk to your community who are constantly bullying and picking biracial people. Talk to them.
In real life, at least in my experience, this is not really a thing. Now, is there conflict between biracial and or light-skinned black people and darker skinned black people? Definitely. Colorism is definitely a thing. Is there a major issue with the representation of black women in media, especially? Yes. The running joke on Netflix shows is that there basically are no dark-skinned black women in the universe of Netflix. And my video talked about the fact that light-skinned black men are generally erased from the media eye for many of the same reasons, because the way we see black men and black women is tied to these narratives around what masculinity and femininity really should be, and they have inverse properties when it comes to dark-skinned or light-skinned people. So I'm not saying any of this to take away from the fact that colorism is a thing and that representation of black women is definitely not where it needs to be in the media. All of that is true. But it's not true that biracial is a racial category. First off,
What do you guys think about that statement? It's not true. Biracial is a racial category. Now, biracial in self, like I said, I use mulatto because it means black, white, which we were a racial category, man. I have the proof and the evidence. I mean, this is so astounding. We have literally had our mulatto designation on the United States Census. And you hear this guy, clearly an academic, who literally has the nerve to pop up on here and be like, biracial is not a racial category. You know, let me see if I can find this really quick. Yeah, is it 1930 when they removed it? Some of this stuff I wish I had this stuff kind of. Here we go, right here. Okay. I'm going to get back to the clip, but I definitely have to segue into this because when you hear guys like that speaking, you know, BS, I'm trying not to, curse as much. He literally said biracial is not a category on the, it's not a race, is what he said. It's not a race, right? Okay. Mulatto, by definition, means you are two races. It means you are a mixture, a fusion of black and white. Here you have 1850, before United States Civil War, black, and then you had separate mulatto, and then white. 1870, Indian, Chinese, black, mulatto, white. 1890, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, black, mulatto, quadroon, octoroon, and white. So these were classifications you could check on the census data collection. United States Census Bureau interactive graphic shows a history of race questions and its surveys. 1910, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, black, which they put Negro, and then mulatto, white, and then other. Here you have in the 1930s, Indian, Chinese, Filipino, Hindu, Japanese, Korean, Negro, Mexican, white, other. 1930. So they eliminated the mulatto designation, mulatto indicating biracial, which is our own independent racial classification. They've eliminated that in the 1930s and just put us in with the Negroes. We already know this is based off the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which was passed in Virginia to essentially one drop rule us into blackness. And of course, they removed our mulatto biracial designation and they put in the Mexican designation for them. So when you hear this guy who makes these claims, basically stating, oh, biracial is not a race. You don't have a race. You don't have a right to classify yourself as a race. You got to only identify with black. See, these people have to be challenged, is what I'm telling you. You cannot let they're trying to erase your ass. They want you to serve them as mules. What do you get out of it? You don't get nothing. This guy, okay, he's going to be in the office kissing white butt. He's probably not going to be smoking blunts and playing Xbox like his Pookie buddies, his Pookie contingent. He probably doesn't associate with Pookies, but those are his fanboys, are the Pookies. But he's still kissing white ass, like most of them. Like I told you, they worship white people. They got white Jesus in all their churches. They worship white people. He's worshiping white people, but in the office, whatever university he works for, whatever publishing company or, that he works for, they're paying him, they're cutting him a check. So he's kissing their white butt. You better believe that. So he's going to serve them and get paid for it. But he's telling you biracials, you mulattoes, you don't have a right to your own identity, your own racial classification. You got to serve his ass while he kisses white people's butts and gets paid for it. And you're stuck as a mule. Fuck that. I'm telling you, man, these younger people, even younger than me, they're asserting themselves. They're not playing around. They're not having that. They're not going to let you have the power and influence to pick and choose to control blackness. We're sitting here like, hey, we got something else now. We're going to dictate who's a mulatto and who's not a mulatto. We have our own now. We have power now. People don't like that. They're going to say it's hate speech. It's hate speech, asserting yourself, being proud of who you are. But it's not hate speech for this guy to basically say biracial is not a race when literally I showed you verifiable evidence within the United States Census that mulatto was its own racial classification. History, facts. But a guy like this, who's an academic, will tell you it's not a race. Not in today's world, because the police gonna see you a black. So you ain't biracial. You just black. So you gotta put up with my black bullshit. Let's continue on.
All races made up. Like all this stuff comes from colonialism. All this stuff comes from slavery. Like people keep saying, stop following the one drop rule. And it's like the one drop rule isn't really a thing. The one drop rule, if it ever truly was applied, only was created to make it so the most phenotypically white black people could not participate and get access to white privilege.
The most phenotypically white black people. That doesn't really make any sense, does it? If you're phenotypically white, would you be a black person? That's the language because he's a one dropper. So that's why he's talking about the one drop rule. He's saying it's irrelevant. It was used so that mulattoes could not be a competitive group in America because post slavery, mulattoes were building the schools. Mulattoes had the highest admittance rate into all these schools. The HBCUs were built for mulatto people. Okay, most of these HBCUs are named after white men. They were built for mulatto people who got the licensure to be doctors and lawyers, etc. So they wanted to make sure that we were not a competitive group. So they wanted to maintain the integrity of the white race with the Anglo-Saxon Club. So with Plecker in Virginia and the Racial Integrity Act, that's their efforts, through policy, legislatively, to make sure they establish parameters to where mulatto people are non-competitive. Throw us into blackness so blacks can claim all of our wins, like Charles Drew, etc.
Once upon a time, it was never made for Holly Berry. My rule around race is this.
It's funny, his rule around race, like he's an authority. That's the funny thing. We're going to get into that. Yeah, my rule around race is this, as if he's an authority. Who the hell is this guy? I told you. He works for white people. He gets paid by white people. He loves white people. All of them do. That's why they don't like mulattoes. A lot of them don't like mulattoes because they're jealous of our proximity to whiteness. There's nothing they can do. It doesn't matter how he dresses. Doesn't matter how he talks, how articulate he is. It doesn't matter. You will never be a half white mulatto person. You'll never be closer to white people the way we are. That's your big dilemma. That's where the jealousy. I'm not saying he is personally, okay? But a lot of these people, especially the pro-wax, the Pookies, who are hating on biracials, mulattoes, they're jealous. That's, where it comes from instinctively. But he basically said his theory on race, which is all hogwash and bullshit.
Black people could not participate and get access to white privilege once upon a time. It was never made for Holly Berry. My rule around race is this.
What I wanted to say actually about that with Holly Berry is a lot of these black men I've seen even in like the black manosphere, they have called Holly Berry a tragic mulatta because a tragic mulatta, they particularly call it with the women. The reason why they called Holly Berry that is because her partner, her ex-husband, is a white man. So if a mulatta woman gets with the white man and has children with the white man, see, like I'm telling you, they're so jealous. They feel like they lost something. They lost something. So they're like, well, she's tragic mulatto. She doesn't want to claim black and be down with the community and beg white people for reparations. So they're going to call Holly Berry a tragic mulatta, right? I've heard that. They said that the Mariah Carey, they said that the Doja Cat, even BGS Ibmore, if you guys heard of BGS, he's in a black manosphere. And of course, his own son's, I think it's his daughter-in-law, his son's like wife is a mulatto woman, right? But he'll talk shit on mulattoes, right? He'll gatekeep blackness, which that's his right to do. Good for you. But when we have our own space, I don't want to see you guys crying, coming over here whining and crying and running your mouth. When we develop something that's comparable and that is, cutting edge, but they'll cry and whine. They feel like they own your ass. The saddest part about it is you have biracials who are fucking punks who will kiss their butt to get acceptance. I'm going to share one community tab after this video of a guy who's over in that sector, that space, who is basically doing that. But yeah, so like I said, BGS Itmore is calling Holly Berry a tragic mulatto, right? Because she's decided to be with the white man. Yeah.
Whatever the police think you are, if the police are,
that's his theory,
isn't really a thing. The one drive people. So I'm not saying any of this to take away from the fact that colorism is a thing and that representation of black women is definitely not where it needs to be in the media. All of that is true. But it's not true that biracial is a racial category. First off, all race is made up.
Well, he's full of shit, guys. I'm just want to, that's why I got to respond to this video because in the United States Census, the federal census, they have a multiracial category. You can literally check that box and identify as multiracial. So even though this guy's got, 400,000 subscribers and a lot of views, he's full of shit. I mean, you can tell the Christmas tree behind him, his little zesty dreadlocks and his t-shirt. He loves white people. That's his massa. And you talking about how biracial isn't a real race. Literally, it's on the census as a classification. And I already showed you guys the whole mulatto designation from 1930s and prior to that, right? So he's full of shit. So we're calling him out. The mulattoes got the mic. We're calling you out, okay?
Like all this stuff comes from colonialism. All this stuff comes from slavery. Like people keep saying, stop following the one drop rule. And it's like the one drop rule isn't really a thing. The one drop rule, if it ever truly was applied or only was created to make it so the most phenotypically white black people could not participate.
The most phenotypically white black people. I know I rewinded to play this clip, but I just find that so hilarious. The most phenotypically white, quote, black person, that doesn't make any sense. They're phenotypically white. Wouldn't they be a white person? They look white. They're white. Oh no. But they gotta drop a black blood. So they still black. They still an African queen, an African king. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Let's see.
And get access to white privilege once upon a time. It was never made for Holly Berry. My rule around race is this: whatever the police think you are,
that's how a lot of them are. And that's kind of the ghetto-ness. That is literally the ghetto-ness of it all. That's what, that's his thesis statement. Now, that's his rule on race. There's no scientific data to back that up. We already showed you. We debunked his theory on how biracial isn't a race because we showed you the United States census data that proves it literally is a whole racial classification, being mulatto, which they've omitted on the 1930 census. And currently today, since 2000, they have the multiracial category. So we do have a category that's separate, that's independent from black. So clearly this guy wants us all to be black because he knows Latinos are not going to click up with you. They're independent. Asians aren't going to click up with you. You're not in a winning position. You need to go cater to this man. Okay. And the rest of them, they need to cater to mulattoes. They need to tell mulattoes what we need. We need protections, what we need, resources. But no, he's going to tell us, well, the white folks don't like you. So you got to put up with my bullshit. That's what he's going to tell you. It's laughable today. But the whole argument with the police, there's a lot of people who mention that. I talked about the Be Real mindset. He has a YouTube channel here. He was kind of going in on that one lady that I shared earlier, the video clip, the TikTok. He did a reaction to her video, and he was basically trying to mock her for identifying as biracial. And he was saying the same thing, very similar sentiments. Basically, well, the police, they gonna just look at you as black. You just a nigga to the police, so you still black. When you go to jail, you still gonna be black. I'm telling you, man, a lot of even the hood boogers, all the way from the dumbass pookies, the hood boogers, all the way to guys like this who are educated, who are articulate, and who are trained by their white massa, the same type of people, they're all gonna tell you, oh, the police they just gonna see you as being black. You just a black man to the police. So if the police see you as being black, well, you just gotta be black. You can't be nothing else because that's what the police say. Police is massa. And they claim you as just being black, so you just got to be black. You can't be nothing else because that's what Massa said. And of course, Massa pays my bills. I work for Massa. I love Massa, and you got Massa blood in you. You got Massa in your family, so I wish I was like you. I could be closer to Massa, So whatever the Massa say, that's what goes on. That's what the Massa do. So of course, this is Alexander Kong, right? This is one of the officers who was charged in the whole George Floyd debacle, right? Does this man look like a black man to you? Or is this one of those men he's talking about? When the police gonna see you, they gonna think you just a black person, you just a nigga. The police gonna look at you as a nigga. This is a police, okay? Minneapolis police officer. Does he just see you as black? Does he see himself as black? Does this look like a black person? You tell me. Alexander Keg. I know you're looking at the image. He looks like he's in some deep shit here, fighting for his life. And of course, the article here says the black officer who detained George Floyd had pledged to fix the police. So he's a black officer. Interesting. He's an Oreo with his hands. He's got Oreos in his hand. It's pretty funny. Can't make this shit up. But he's black. He's a black police officer. He's black, and they black, and they pull you over. You just gonna be black. The police gonna see you as black. So you just black. That's what they say, because Massa told me. Massa told I work for Massa. Massa pays my bills, and they black, and they said he's black too. So we all black. So come on, man. So this is what you have right here. I'm just saying this, guys, because you can't make this shit up. You know, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes you got to kind of laugh and giggle and chuckle with this type of stuff. But I'm gonna get to your guys' comments. Let me finish this clip of this character here, and I'm gonna get to your guys' comments because I seen this clip. I was like, man, I gotta provide some commentary on this because this is rich.
The police are looking.
The reason why, because it's the same talking points. Like I said, from the hood boogers, the ghetto piece of shit, fucking scumbag pookies who want to pick on you and call you weak. Oh, you light skin, you weak. Those savages at the bottom, all the way up to the academics who are working right next door to Massa. They have the same rhetoric, similar overlapping philosophies. They talk the same talking points when as it pertains to mulattoes and biracial people. They don't feel like you should be able to have your own race. They feel like you belong to them. You can only claim black. And if you want to claim something else, oh, well, that's white supremacy. You just aren't proud to be black. No, I see the con game going on. You don't own me, boy. I'm not a mule for you. I got my own thing going on. So I'm showing you guys the parallels, from the poor pookie all the way to the educated scholar, and how they have very similar talking points. I've noticed this with my own personal journey. Yeah.
Looking for you. Whatever they report back to the call center, whatever, that is what you are. Not really what you are, obviously. That's a joke. But the point is, how you're perceived racially is one of the most defining factors of your racial experience. So I am never perceived as anything other than a black man.
Of course, you're a Negro, sir. Respectfully, you are a Negro. You are not a biracial person. You are not a mulatto person. You do not have our experiences. You do not know who we are and how we operate and how we are perceived in this society. So respectfully, you have the black experience, which is a good thing. That's good for you. Respectfully, stay in your lane. As it pertains to biracials and mulatto people, you do not share our experience. Me, myself, as a young mulatto man, I'm standing here today speaking to you, telling you, you don't. Okay, 2023, it's a new day. We are asserting ourselves. I'm one of the more vocal ones. I'm definitely one of the ones who's going to ruffle feathers, who's going to push buttons, and people aren't going to like me. People are going to say I'm anti-black, even though I've been to an all-black nation surrounded by beautiful Ghanaian people. People will make all kinds of claims, to basically, they can't challenge my viewpoints or my arguments, but they'll make all types of claims and ad hominem attacks. And guess what, baby? I'm still going to be here talking. So I'm just sharing this with you guys. Look, this guy does not speak for us. He doesn't know, as it pertains to mulattoes, he doesn't have our experiences. He doesn't know, but he's going to try to give his little academic analysis on it.
And most black people Even the lighter skinned black people, it's the same situation. And then you have people like Mariah Carey and Tori Kelly who can pass for white or pass for at least non-black. And yeah, it gets more complicated there. And their experiences are going to be different. The experiences of dark-skinned black people and light-skinned black people are definitely going to have a lot of complexities and nuances based solely off of how they're perceived in society. Light-skinned black people get lower police sentences is one example. Lighter skinned black boys in particular are treated better in schools.
But there's no citations, sources, or references to explain that. And I checked. He said light-skinned black people boys are treated better in schools. Look at this curiosity stream. No sources. He mentions that being biracial in America is a weird Schrodinger's cat's experience of being both black and white and neither black and white at the same time. At least that's been my experience. Being biracial guy is clearly not white, but not black either. I definitely had the black experience and fetishization and otherness as a kid, but I was also gatekept from blackness and the black community from my dark skinned peers until I was 17 and spent more time in a city. It's a very complex issue, and every biracial kid's experience is different depending on their complex complexion and where they live. Environment is critically important. Biracial experience is real. I've had people think I'm lying about having a black father. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into all the comments right now. Um, Maybe a whole nother time. But what I wanted to share is that there's no citations or no sources when he claims that light skinned people, we're just supposed to believe it because he said it. Light skinned people are treated better than dark skinned people, man. Colorism's real, man. You know, it's not fair. Massa, he pays me good money. I make 80 to 100K a year from Massa, and I make good money on YouTube because, you know, Massa owns YouTube as well. So Massa's paying me good, but because I'm dark skinned, I'm not treated the same as the light skinned guys. You know, it's not fair even in school. So that's what I'm hearing from this guy. No citations, no sources, right?
So much evidence of the fact that your phenotypical traits definitely dictate your experience as a black person. But what I'm getting from TikToks and Lipstick Alley, etc., and I hate to
Generational nuance. What you're getting is the young people asserting themselves and they're pushing back against the rhetoric, against the pro-whack rhetoric, against the victimization rhetoric where you're a proud victim. But yet, clearly, listening to you talk, you were trained by white people, white university, white books, white scholarship. Even though you're a feminist, sadly, you're a male feminist, so you cater to black women. It's kind of your market. But of course, most of those black feminists, they worship white women as well. That's where a lot of their resources and jobs and et cetera have come from. So you kind of fall in line with that. You want a piece of the academia, social justice warrior, liberal intersectionality kind of what do they call that? There's a term they call for that. Damn, I forgot that term, financial term, referencing the market. I don't know. What it is that this guy's getting paid off the same kind of dole, so to speak. Cottage industry. That's what I wanted to say. The whole liberal social justice warrior academia cottage industry they have there, this victimization, the type of even the language, the nomenclature he's using, it all falls in line with that shit. This guy's a male feminist, but he wants all biracials just to be black. Yeah, to get to help you guys out, just like Frederick Douglass helped you guys out of slavery. Thurgood Marshall helped you guys out of a pickle with the Supreme Court, and also W. Du Bois. They've helped you guys out all these centuries. The mulattoes helping you out. You still want us to help you out, and we're sitting back on TikTok. The younger people, it's a generational nuance. They're telling you, "Hey, man, we have a different experience than you guys, and we're not gonna let you guys beat up on us and punch up on us without any repercussions. You guys are getting too comfortable with your little light skin jokes, your little mixed race biracial jokes. You're getting a little too comfortable out here. So there's going to be some of us, we got to remind you."
throw shade. I'm sorry. I'm calling a spade a spade. Whenever I get into this discourse, it's very rarely with other black men. It is always with black women and mostly young black women. And just like I hold space for the brothers that are, trapped up in manosphere, misogynistic nonsense, I want to
Manosphere, misogynistic nonsense. He's a male feminist. So he's kind of, a lot of the manosphere guys have already critiqued him. He kind of made a whole hit piece on like manosphere red pill, which I'm not a part of those spaces anymore. I was back, it's 2020. Yeah, 2020, maybe in the beginning of 2021. But I know that they kind of already referenced this guy. And so he's definitely a male feminist. So that's where it's, like I said, the cottage industry, part of the academic structure in academia. He's getting paid. He's part of the intersectionality. That's why he'll reference. I watched earlier part of the stream. He referenced like bell hooks. Oh, read this book from Bell or some fem. I'm like, really? Buy a book and read a book from a misandrist. Like he's referencing feminist people. I mean, this guy is gross, man.
hold space for these young ladies because they are being erased from the media perspective. This rampant championing of light-skinned black women with different phenotypical traits as the image of black femininity, the image of black beauty. And you see whenever you get maybe a Michaela Cole or a Lupita Nyong'o, and they're kind of like tokenized as, these black women who people like, these are pretty dark-skinned girls or pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Like, I do not know what that feels like, and I cannot claim to understand how that feels.
Yeah, he's a male feminist. So he's a male feminist, so it's very obvious. I don't know what it feels like. Yeah.
But it doesn't make it any more sensible to say that Holly Berry or Saweetie or whomever else is not black. The whole concept of
And he keeps touching his head. That's like a very, distinct indicator. It's like thinking, touching his head. It's a complex issue because the thing is, they want to be able to tell you who is black and who's not black. They don't want us as biracial mulatto people to tell them we're not black. They have an issue with that. They're almost hurt by that. They're taken back by that. They want to have that power over you, to outgroup you, to tell you you don't belong. You're not black like me. You ain't from the hood like me, man. You ain't struggling. You ain't down with the struggle. You ain't from the hood, man. I got 2 black parents, even though I only got 1 black parent. Cause my daddy was never there with me in the hood. It was only my mama. I was raised by my mama. I love my mama. She a black mama, but you got a white mama. Yeah, you got a black dad, but you got a white mama. You raised in the suburbs, so you ain't black like me. See, what it is they want to tell you who you are. But when you tell them who you are, they have a problem with that because you're taking power back. You're asserting yourself. I'm telling you right now, I'm speaking for the younger people. There's going to be a lot more. I'm just one dude in the little YouTube space. But as this goes on, as this continues on, especially on TikTok, he's referencing TikTok. There's a lot of younger people. They're bold and they're not afraid. They don't give a shit if you clap back. They're going to clap back as well. Even with me, we have nothing to lose. We're here. We're here.
Could only be black if your mother was black. It's basically eugenics. So there's complexities there, and there's ways that biracial people weaponize being biracial to get away with doing goofy fuck shit that eventually harms black people who are not ambiguous.
You see that? You see how sneaky he is? There's biracial people who do goofy fuck shit, and he has Doja Cat popping up. You see how sneaky he is right here with his YouTube editing? You see that?
You in their racial presentation. But
super sneaky, huh? He's taking a shot at Doja Cat because she's a woman. I'm telling you, because they want all the mulatto women to claim black so they can have access to all those women. And it's like a courtship mechanism. They want to essentially pass on the mulatto women to, to only date. I've talked to some people, even within my chat, like months ago, how they were telling me how basically their father, biracial woman was telling me how their father only only wanted them to date a black man. They didn't want them to date white men. So even black men who have mixed race mulatta daughter, they still want to court, that daughter into handing them off to a black man. It's disgusting. A lot of that. And see, that's why there's the men are so fixated on the women in particularly identifying as black. The men, they're looking at me like, well, you got to serve me. You got to prove you down with the hood. You down with Pookie and Ray Ray in the hood. You down with the hood. You from the hood. You listen to Nipsey Hussle. We from the hood. It's all good, dog. Oh man, you see, you were raised in the suburbs, dog. You ain't from the hood, dog. Oh man, you don't listen to Nipsey Hussle. So with guys like me, they just want me to basically be down with the hood and claim black and fight for their ass while they're sitting on their ass, smoking blunts, playing Xbox, trying to get light skinned women. They want me to do all the work, right? They want me to fall in line, so to speak. But the women, they want access to them, right? So
complexities there. And there's ways that biracial people weaponize being biracial.
there's ways biracial people weaponize being biracial. He doesn't give the clear-cut examples. He just basically uses ambiguous terms. Like he says goofy fuck shit. And then he has an image of Doja Cat, very sneaky. Goofy fuck shit. They weaponize being biracial. How has Doja Cat weaponized being biracial? Very curious. He doesn't lay any citations out, no examples.
To get away with doing goofy fuck shit that if
Get away with doing goofy fuck shit, but he doesn't say what that is, right?
essentially harms black people who are not
The goofy fuck shit that harms black people has Doja Cat, because he's very sneaky. He puts her here, I guess, puts her here. Like I said, they're very fixated on the mulatta women because they want sexual access to the women. So they need the women to claim being black. So they sexually have access to them because they hate who they are. They want lighter skinned children. They don't want to be black. They want to be light skinned. So, and using skin bleach is damaging to your skin, damaging to your health. Other races of people are cutting off access to you, especially white people. They know their numbers are not where they like it to be, so they're tightening up, circling the wagons, and they're getting on code, right? That's what Trump was all about. Asian people, Hispanic people, other demographics, they like who they are and they want to reproduce with themselves. It's a lot of you guys who don't like who you are. And so there guys like him are fixated on the mulatta woman, but he doesn't explain what she did that was detrimental to black people. I guess by her identifying herself as biracial, that to him is like, you see how it is? Anything you do is anti-black. I'm gonna get to your guys' comments. The clip is almost done. I got a couple more minutes. But like I'm saying, anything you do to not kiss their black ass is essentially anti-black. That's the way he's framing it. No citations, no references, no sources to say what this lady, Doja Cat, has done that's anti-black.
ambiguous in their racial presentation. But let's just be real. This is a discourse only in the case that it allows certain black people with a certain agenda. I would again argue predominantly young black women, but also some of your hoteps and your hotep adjacent type folks to like make this assertion that black is a genetic disposition, which it kind of is. But like, if we were to break black down to these genetic dispositions, a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't be black. I wouldn't be black. My family.
No, motherfucker, you are black as fuck. So let's just, stop the cap right there. Let's rewind that because.
Genetic disposition, which
And you got your little zesty dreadlocks right here and your little cute little Christmas shirt. No,
it kind
and
of
even when the language he says, because he's very articulate, right, and well spoken, but he says, "Oh, the people I fucks with," or that right there, I'm like, okay, you are basically signaling to the Pookie ghetto contingent, right? I fucks with them. They from the hood. They down with the hood. They all down. We all black and all that. We all pro whack and we're all male feminists. So yeah.
is. But like, if we were to break black down to these genetic dispositions,
Break black down to these genetic dispositions. Negro, you are black as fuck. Me and you are not the same, bro. I am a biracial, a mulatto man. We are not the same. My father is definitely darker complected than you. But you are a black person. Listen to what he says here.
A lot of motherfuckers wouldn't be black. I wouldn't be black. My whole
You know that's all cap. He's saying a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't be black. And he's like, well, I wouldn't be black either. No, 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 no. You are and you always will be. Okay. With me, it's a different case. You know, I go to Ghana. They're saying, oh, you're a white man. And it's funny, even with the whole police situation, a lot of these white cops, man, I took a course. I took what course was it? It was a fire technology course. I took a fire technology course with one of the professors there. I don't even know if I want to get into this right now. At a later date, I'll present that information to you guys. I have firsthand knowledge with people within law enforcement in the fire profession. We're not all black, bro. The biracials, mulattoes have the microphone now. They're telling you.
my family wouldn't be the case. My wife did 23andMe, and this dark skinned black woman is 25% white. That shit low key pissed me off.
It pissed me off because, the people from the hood, we all down. We all from the community. We pro white consciousness, even though the white folks pay our bills. We live in a white suburb, a white community, dog. But, I got to make the white jokes, dog, even though they pay me. That's typical with these characters. Yeah.
Genes are a weird thing. The thing that frustrates me the most is that when they try to use
Yeah, he has one black parent, but damn it, he's got probably another parent that's Asian or something. And this guy right here, he's probably got two mulatto parents. So this is a mulatto. I don't know the whole full background story. It's Russell Wilson. I don't follow the NFL or American football. Okay, I follow boxing and mixed martial arts, but yeah, one black parent. And he's trying to make this image, this comparison. We come in all colors and all shades and all variation. Hogwash. This guy is a mulatto presenting man. Wouldn't doubt both of his parents. I can probably do a quick search right now since we're here just to dispel the foolishness. Let's see if we have. It's Russell Wilson. He's a football quarterback. I don't follow the sport, but let's see what his parents look like. Let me stop screen here. I'm going to get your guys' comments. I know I see a lot of you in here, beautiful mulatto people, so I will get to you. So I have an image here. Who are Russell Wilson's parents? It's Russell Wilson here. That's a football player. So I guess that's his mom. That's his father. So his father's a mulatto. Is what it looks like to me. Most definitely. Look at his hair. Same hair as him, right? It's mulatto father. It's what it looks like to me. I don't have the paperwork and the stats in front of me. Is that his mom? Or yeah, it's Russell Wilson. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his mom, or it's his mom, Russell Wilson. So what is he? Could be possibly 60% African, 40% European. I don't have the data and stats in front of me, but he has two black parents. Yeah, for sure. If you want to look at it that way, this is an older picture of him. So his father, who clearly looks like Eric Holder, looks like Eric Holder, the mulatto here. This is his mom. His mom looks blacker than him. So, and what is she? She's probably could be 15% European. He's probably 50% or 40% European. So, what does that make him? You guys do the math. Yeah. Just kind of wanted to share that. Kind of reminded me of what's that cat's name? Was he defense attorney? Was it Eric? Damn, I just said his name. What was his name? Eric DOA, right? Can't believe the name just left It was a Fast and Furious case, right? It was Obama appointed him. He's the first mulatto in that office. Uh, Eric, um, Holder. Can't believe I just forgot that. Yeah, Eric Holder is his name. Let me pull up an image of that so you guys can kind of see. I apologize for being in a slight delay here. I have Eric Holder here. I just remember Fast and Furious. He's a Obama appointee. It's the first mulatto. I think it was in the was it the attorney? Oh yeah, it was a what was the office he was in? It was a high office, a law enforcement attorney general, I believe Attorney General Eric Holder. I don't know. Russell Wilson's father, his pops, kind of looked like him, reminded me of him. So this falls in line with the mulatto elite for Eric Holder specifically. Of course, Obama appointed him. Attorney General Holder with his son, Eric Holder III, right? So I just kind of wanted to share an image of him. A lot of the conservatives, they don't like him. They're like, "Oh, this guy's grimy and dirty," because of the situation that happened with the at the border with the they called it Fast and Furious. It was like a DOA or DEA, excuse me, operation that kind of gone bad, gone wrong. He's a part of that. Let me finish up the clip. I think the clip's actually almost done. I'm gonna get your guys' comments. Yeah, I think it's like one more minute to this clip, this biracial kind of segment, so to speak. And then I'll get your guys' comments. Appreciate you guys being here.
Concepts of slavery as a product. And they talk about.
So I just want to share that image. This guy here, I don't know who the hell he is. This one black parent guy. I don't know. Is he a rapper or something? I don't know. He's got the gold teeth, the tattoos. Looks like probably a rapper or something. This is Russell Wilson. I already showed you guys. And he's saying, oh, he's got two black parents. So he's basically showing these images side to side that blackness comes in all shades and all variations and all this stuff. But he's got one black parent. Well, who the hell is his other parent? It's some dark-skinned Asian person. I mean, I don't know who the hell this guy is, but it's not a mulatto.
The thing that frustrates me the most is that when they try to use like concepts of slavery as a product, and they talk about the real fact that some of the first biracial children were a product of assaults by slave masters on enslaved African people. That is a fact. By the logic presented by these biracial people aren't black types, we were supposed to reject the one drop rule and I guess just leave the child in a forest. Is that that's what we're gonna do? We're gonna leave some of y'all great grandparents. We're gonna just like toss them in a lake somewhere. That actually probably happened a little bit, to be.
Well, it's happening right now, literally symbolically. They're literally outgrouping us. They're gatekeeping us and outgrouping us because we're not from the hood. Literally, it's happening today. We have been forced to create our own spaces, which is a beautiful thing. I look at here in the chat, I look at the people on my channel. I have beautiful mixed race mulatto people. This is what I've always wanted. We have our own spaces now. So,
Be honest with you, but what really happened, because like, oh my god, this all comes from a colonial mindset around power and privilege and identity, and there's some people that think that we're going to claim power back from racist white institutions by mimicking the types of things they do to us to other people when we get the opportunity. And so that instance where a black slave would have had to have borne the child of a white slave master, we're not saying act upon the natural instincts that a person bearing a child probably would have, which is to take care of and nurture and raise that child. We're saying we're not going to follow the one drop rules. We're either going to throw the child in the lake or we're going to excuse this parent from their black cultural heritage unless they want to excuse their child. It is a stupid thing done by stupid children. I am sorry. I love y'all. Y'all know I love the babies, but I cannot take this ridiculous ass perspective.
That's it. That's it. Now to your guys' comments. Appreciate you guys being here. I got to go up a little bit. I kind of ignored the comments for a while. Apologize. I shared what I wanted to share. Um, Loving versus Virginia overturned the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, reinstating interracial marriage, still needing to reinstate mulatto to the United States Census. Exactly. That person is wearing a Joker Jester elf shirt. Yeah, yeah. That guy is an academic. Obviously, he's very articulate, more articulate than me, older than me, more research for sure. But he's a male feminist. Like I said, he's a part of the kind of academia, LGBT, intersectionality, cottage industry. They have established a part of the kind of academic, industrial complex, which they profit and make money off victimization. And they see that biracial people are asserting themselves and developing their own spaces, their own communities, and embracing their identity, and they feel like they're losing power, they're losing political influence, they're becoming less and less significant. I'm talking about the communita. So they're desperate attempts to kind of pull us back in to the influence of the communita. That's what you see with him, and he's a male feminist. So the act of declaring what persons shall be deemed mulattoes, chapter, etc., 1779, clearly defined American mulatto. Mulatto has always been an independent racial classification. Yes, it has, ever since the 1700s. And I'm telling you, we've had mulatto people in the Gold Coast, West Africa, even in Europe, South America, etc., before a lot of these nations were even established. So when I hear people say a new race, a new group, I'm like, well, no, 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 not really. We've have centuries year old history. A lot of us are coming to the realization, digging it up and researching it because we are not that new as we have come to find out. The internet, it's a beautiful thing because now we're able to connect with each other. All of you guys are in different states, some of you different countries, but here we are together communicating and sharing notes, right? The right lobbyists, attorneys, legislators, and people are going to receive the messages. Until then, we are having to tolerate the eugenics ideologies. Yeah. Shout out to you, another mulatto in the house. And, definitely appreciate the fact you are proudly proclaiming yourself to be a mulatto, Celtic mulatto. So for that, here you go.
Spartans! What is your profession?
So of course, here in your comment, you say, who gets consistently asked by only black people why you call yourself a mule? And that is saying you are a horse and a donkey offspring. I consistently have to educate them. Yeah, we got to. And a lot of times I just ignore them. I just move on because I'm not going to educate everyone, or I share a link to my video or something. I don't get that many black people, obviously this is kind of a small channel right now that have an issue with it. I think if once they've probably seen a few videos, they've heard my voice, my tone, they kind of realize, okay, this is probably not the guy that they can kind of push around and bully. This is a different kind of character, so they might try to maneuver in a different manner with me. But yeah, a lot of people are going to push back. Oh, obviously mulatto because you're specific. You say mixed race or biracial, it's extremely innocuous. It's less threatening. It includes everybody. Like I said, everybody could be mixed race. You have someone blacker than the fucking Black Panther, they can say they're mixed race. So you let them in the category, and everyone else. You say mulatto, you gatekeep. You're like, basically, no, this is black, white, biracial, mulatto person. This is extremely specific. People have a problem with that. They want to tell you who you are. They want to gatekeep you. But when you do that, to them and say, well, you're not really a part of our group. You're kind of different. It's okay. I mean, I respect you and appreciate you, but you're not like us. They have an issue with that, right? Now that the black, white, biracial mulattoes are increasing and the black population is decreasing, classifying mulattoes as black is whitewashing the black population. Yeah. But like I said, a lot of them, they worship white Jesus. They worship their massa. They all work for massa. Even that guy there works at a white university. A lot of your black academics, they work for white people, so they love their massa. Even Dr. Umar Johnson got his degree at a white university, so they love massa. They just want you to fight their battles for them while they sit on their rear end, smoking blunts, playing Xbox, chasing light skinned women. So it says the 1924 Racial Integrity Act classifying mulattoes as black made mulattoes the white people of the black society, right? And that's exactly what we are today. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. They need to go to Latin America, Caribbean, and Sub Saharan Africa, where mixed race peoples have our own racial category. Africans have their own definition of black, and it's ironic. Yeah. Yeah. Black people on the continent, man, especially for me, I've been to Ghana, they gatekeep blackness and they one drop you for being partially white. You can be like a brown skin black person, like a Chris Brown. You guys know the R&B singer Chris Brown. They'll call his ass white if he goes to one of these sub-Saharan African countries. So they'll one drop you into whiteness. They're like, "Hey, man, you're not black like the rest of us. We weren't born on the continent." They're looking at you different. They're like, "Your ass is white." Even like a Chris Brown or someone like him. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It is what it is, though. They need to, yeah, I read that. Shout out to you, Celtic Mulatto. So, America is a predominantly white government. Yes. Listening to black commentary is listening to a culturally, politically illiterate thought process. Exactly. And like I shared with you guys in the guy's video, I can just briefly kind of demonstrate. He made these claims that light skinned children are treated better in school. Light skinned children are treated better. And of course, in the video, he never made any citations. He never made any sources or mentioned any sources. And there's no sources here in his description box. We're just supposed to take his word for it because Massa trained him to speak like a civilized person. And there's no sources. And he's got 421,000 subscribers. He's a male feminist. Okay. So he capes hard, for the quains, which is fine. But when it comes to biracial people, he shouldn't even be speaking on the subject. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So the same police that seen slaves as slaves, yeah. Like I shared you guys a picture of that dude, Alex Kong. He's talking about the police gonna see you as you're black. Yeah, right. Black police don't see mulattoes as black. Celtic Mulatto says American mulattoes need to ally with foreign-born mixed race who identify as mulatto, mulatta, or brown. Without alliance, all this is just a rant and no change will occur. It is what it is. I mean, that's what I'm doing with my platform. I publicly said, look, I'm an American mulatto. My commentary, I have the American kind of perspective. I'm born and raised here. I love this country. I'm a world traveler. My whole journey is to travel the world, document mulatto history. And I had a stream earlier based on biracial people in Britain, in the UK. So I'm definitely a strong advocate for people, biracial mulatto people around the planet in different countries, even Brazil, where there's kind of a language barrier. I need to learn some Portuguese, but obviously Colombia, Panama, Dominican Republic, I need to pick up some Spanish. I am a strong advocate for mulatto people worldwide. And I agree with you because keeping it domestic for a lot of us, even though our numbers are definitely growing, we need to look at, connecting with people in other countries as well. That's going to inevitable. That's the next step. I saw a biracial, shout out to you, DC. Says I saw a biracial on TikTok saying it's like only other people can decide what we are or aren't. TikTok exposed a lot, not just for funny dance. Yeah, yeah. I'm venturing off into that space now. I have to kind of because I realized even they censor a lot of people. I think the Chinese own TikTok. Um, but if you want a gateway to the younger people, the Zennials, people younger than me, you got to go to TikTok. So Um, I'm trying to kind of see what I can find over there, but I've seen a bunch of videos. A lot of them are speaking up, and I love to see it. It's sad I don't see a lot of that on YouTube. A lot of the biracials I see on YouTube, they're just trying to kiss black ass and they just want to be black and they want to fit, they want to find their place in the community. They're fighting for their place in the black community, and they're just, using the biracial talking points as a grift just to get in good with black people, which when I look at TikTok, the younger people, they're more sincere talking about their experiences, which I love that. And I see that and I feel it. But yeah, a lot of the YouTube spaces, especially the golden sphere, all this stuff, it's just a lot of grifters pretending to give a shit about mixed race people when all they want to do is just kiss black ass and be pro black, and that to hell, with mixed race people and our concerns. Just it's all about monoracial black sensibilities. We gotta just be pro black and cape for them. And if you don't, they're gonna call you racist, right? Which, well, that's fine, whatever. Still kiss my ass. So it's my own black dad was on a live acting surprised about a mixed man not wanting blackness forced on him. He really don't know why he wants his own identity. I didn't know he listened to biracial channels. Yeah. I was just typing the word biracial and biracist actually came up. Yeah, I've heard that word coined. They'll probably call me that. I'm the golden sphere mixed race community's favorite biracist, but still I haven't seen any receipts for it. But I don't care. That's funny. I guess I'm not racist. I got black friends, right? My black friends can vouch for me. Shit. It's funny. Black, white, biracial mulattoes aren't asking for permission to be what we are. Black, white, biracial mulattoes are reclaiming the mulatto identity. 100%. Thank you for stating that. That is 100%. It's incumbent upon us. It's our job to assert ourselves, to tell people who we are. If you let these people talk, they're going to tell you who you are. They're going to tell you, well, the police don't see you as black. They don't see you as mixed. The police just see you as being black. So you just got to be black, because the community says so. The community, we need you. We need you. Come back home to the community because the Hispanics are outnumbering us. The Asians got more money than us. We ain't got no money. And Massa likes you better. And I love Massa. So come back here, biracial person. So Massa, I want to get closer to Massa, but Massa's more comfortable with you because you half white, you biracial. So come back, please. That's basically what you're dealing with here, right? So it says, ever notice when Black Americans talk negative about African American people, they are called, Black Africans talk negative about African American people, they are called African American haters. But when a mixed person does the same, they are called anti-Black. Hint, 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 meaning we're not Black. That's why if they say I'm anti-Black, thank you for saying I'm anti-Black. You're literally saying I'm not Black. Thank you. I'm a mulatto. So I got to remind these people, like you said. Yeah, it's funny because how the hell can I be anti-black if I'm black or half black, right? It doesn't make sense. It's like what they call that an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. So if they're telling you you're an anti-black mulatto or you're a white supremacist, thank you. I told some idiot on Facebook that. Thank you. You're letting me know that I'm not black, right? Because a black person can't really be anti-black, can they? They have a term they call them. They call them a coon. That's the term they reference them, right? So I don't fit into that. If I'm a white supremacist or if I'm anti-black, well then thank you. You're letting me know I'm not black like you. I appreciate that. We know our own racial classification, and we're working towards that. So I appreciate that. But yeah, like you said, black, white, biracial children are referred to CPS more than black only or black only. Yeah, that's going to be on us to do that research and to look it up and to advocate for that. For me, I'm definitely a strong advocate for mentorship programs. I think with sports, definitely for young males, for young boys. I think the sports and fitness is definitely the key to help them out therapeutically versus like therapy and taking medication. I think sports is definitely good in reading, education. Um, but the whole like welfare system, where I think you mean a foster care system, it's kind of out of my ballpark to be honest. But we need to advocate for our own, right? now more than ever. That's because they tend to lack diplomacy and mutual respect for others, right? Let's see what we got here. We got, so it says, anyone notice that their numbers are declining closer to the single digit percentile? Yeah, it's about 12% right now. And you have to understand, a lot of mulattoes, they solely identify as black. So they're in that percentile as well, right? Everyone knows mulatto people tend to be gorgeous. We are the prettiest people, man. We saw Holly Berry earlier, a lot of others, you know. Even you look at, I'm not homosexual, but you look at Vin Diesel, he has no problem getting chicks, right? So it doesn't matter to men and women. Typically we are very pleasant looking, so we do not have any issues attracting people. So they are not used to mixed people. Just saying, shout out to you, Bree. They are not used to mixed people just saying what they are and being honest about it. Yeah, they're bothered by it for sure. You definitely see that, right? People are bothered by it. The white government segregated mulattoes. Black people didn't. Black population isn't political power in America. No, exactly. They're not. They're not. They're not. It was definitely the, like I said, with the Anglo-Saxon Club, 1924 Racial Integrity Act with Walter Plecker. It was definitely white efforts, judicially, legislatively, the white efforts within the medical establishment and the bureaucracy, who were the ones who definitely pushed for mulatto people to be thrown into just the black category. For sure, black people didn't really have a say in that matter. But it seems like today, black people are the ones holding on. Like, you know, I don't really get any conflict from white people. If I say I'm mulatto or I'm mixed or whatever, it's only black people are like, well, you're just claiming mulatto because you're anti-black. You don't want to be claim your black side. Well, I did claim my black side. A lot of you blacks, you laughed at us and said, you ain't black like me. You ain't from the hood like me, man. You don't listen to Nipsey Hussle and smoke blunts. You ain't got a baby mama. Shit, you ain't black like me. I was like, I'm not going to sit around and let you fools insult me. It's like, dude, I'm smarter than that, dude. Says, I'm sick of these ninjas talking ish about us like we're the worst thing ever. Yeah. The best part about it secretly is they all wish they were us. Okay. The dark skinned men, they wish they were mulatto men. And the dark skinned women, they wish they were mulatto women. That's the secret. They'll never admit it. Don't ever expect them to. They'll never admit it. But I know, I'm pretty sure you know, that's the truth. They wish they were us. That's why they're hating on us, you know. But I'm not going to be here to babysit their ass and make them feel good. I'm not one of those guys. You can call me anti-black, you can call me whatever you want. I'm not going to kiss your ass, you know. Someone else will. Go talk to the golden goddess, you know. I like to call her the ghetto grandma. Go talk to her ass, you know. She'll kiss your butt and make you feel good, you know. She's a loser. She has nothing going on. She's a baby mama, so they like claiming mixed people until we do things they do not like. Whenever they claim our accomplishments, they consistently erase us. They like using mixed people until we do something they don't like. Of course, that is, thank you for stating that, because that is the number one thing that I always point out on every broadcast, every live stream, every video, every chance I have to speak on mulatto issues, mixed race issues, biracial issues. They only want to claim our wins, right? Even in certain like Facebook groups I belong to, any other message board, I always specify that and lay that out. That basically with the black community and the reference to them, they always claim mixed race people for our accomplishments. Anything we do something good. As soon as we do something they don't like, we don't agree with them, instantly they'll outgroup you. We can't allow people to have that type of influence over us. That's why I'm here doing what I'm doing. We're like, look, we got our own spaces now. We got our own thing going on. We can't allow people to throw us in and out of a group. We have our own group. We establish the parameters. We're going to tell you who we are. If you don't like it, that's on you, man, you know. But yeah, thank you for saying that for sure. Biracial people aren't monoracial. How many black people have biologically, genetically a white parent? Yeah. But a lot of them want to speak for us as if they know our experiences, etc. Black women also want access to white mixed men, you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think there's some guys who cater to that demographic, to the women. I don't see it as much, you know, but I know it's there. I've attracted quite a few black women. Um yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know. I've had a lot of success with Latina women who basically just admired my, phenotype, who liked I was like the perfect kind of quote black that they wanted because I'm mulatto, I'm mixed race. They're like, oh, you're the good kind, right? Like I like you. I've had quite a few uh Mexican women. But as far as with black women who want access to mixed men, yeah, I know it's true. Just my own personal experience. I haven't had a whole bunch of experience in that, a few times, but not a whole lot. So it says whatever biracial people do will reflect biracial people for sure. The reason he says that is because black people honestly believe that mixed people's image will trickle down to them, which it doesn't. Yeah. They think our image affects them, which it doesn't. Our image affects other mixed people. Trevor Noah said they called him a white man in Africa, South Africa. Yeah. Do they think you would be into reading his book, Born a Crime? Do you think you would be? Yeah, I got to check it out. I can write that down actually. I'll put that in my notes since you mentioned it. I wasn't aware he had a book published, Born a Crime. I think I've heard him that you mentioned. I've heard him reference it. Um, so I'll definitely put a note of that and look into that. He looks multiracial. Well, it varies in our DNA is passed, but each kids gets different amount, but an amount of the same pie, so to speak. Actually, that guy to the left looks Southwest Asian. I think you guys are talking about Russell Wilson. Yeah. Father looks Indian. Think of Russell Wilson's pops. The black community is not very definitive when it comes to race. Plus, what does slavery have to do with anything? Plus, acknowledging someone's race is free. It literally costs them nothing. Yeah. So James Maps says the one drop rule is racist towards us and will fight to the end to get rid of it. Yeah. Like you said, Eric Holder. Yeah, I kind of forgot his name slipped my tongue for a minute. But what it is that mustache he has. I got the image up right here. It's funny. He's kind of a funny looking fella, you know. Quintessential mulatto. When you look at him, you're like, oh yeah, biracial mulatto. We have a look. Okay. People, you guys know what I look like. I mean, I look like a mulatto person. And so does this gentleman here, Eric Holder. What's funny, what stands out is that mustache he has. But he was definitely in high office as Attorney General, Eric Holder. But yeah, we have a look. Mulatto people have a look. People think I look like, what's his name? Derek Fisher, played for the Los Angeles Lakers, etc. So, or Houston Alexander, the MMA fighter. Uh, just for those of you who are, I know Toenail Breaker knows who he is, but he's actually 50 years old. Houston Alexander, he's still fighting today. Shit, he's doing bare knuckle fighting, so he's still marching on. But people have said before that I look like this guy. So yeah, we definitely have a look because we're both bald. We got a goatee and shit. So he's a cage fighter, bare knuckle brawler now. So we definitely have a look for sure. So just for reference, let me see. It says both his parents are mulattoes from the Caribbean. You're talking about, I think, Eric or Russell Wilson. Yeah. Yeah. Well, his mom looked more black, but she could for sure add mixture, whatnot. I hate the idea that you are not white or automatically black. Exactly. They want to play that game with us because they only see things in that lens where you're either white or you're black. But that's that racist old kind of black thinking. That's in the new world the way it is today, 2023. It's not like that, especially here in America with all these different demographics. It's not just black and white. Um, But a lot of these old timers, they're trying to push that thinking on us, or extras or whatever. It changes in the world. Coloreds in South Africa and Morano in Brazil. I get more offended by confused than mulatto. Yeah, confused is a slur for us because we're not we're not only identifying as black, so then they reference us saying we're confused. Yeah, it's a slur. It's funny, he says we get treated better. I've never seen a black person get harassed for their parents or their hair getting pulled. Yeah, well, he says that light skinned people are treated better. He said light skinned boys in particular, because he's obviously a dark skinned boy. So he said light skinned boys are treated better, but he didn't provide any stats, any research that shows that. We're just supposed to just accept his words for it. I say bullshit. And it's our job to do that. It's our job to challenge that whenever they make these claims that you have light skin privilege. We're like, bullshit. Where's the proof of that? And of course, they'll never provide it, so, but we got to call it out. It's our job. I think that there is no such thing as if we don't branch out, there's no hope thing. I think that we can definitely influence each other and give each other ideas and work together, but we all have different cultures and beliefs. Yeah, for sure. When Zendaya won an Emmy, they were arguing over the first black label, which overshadowed her accomplishments, right? I used to work with kids in foster care, and mixed kids get treated not so well in my experience. We get treated like outsiders from white and black people, even though we are both of them combined. That's the biggest dilemma. That's the biggest thing. We're outgrouped. We're treated like outsiders in a lot of cases. That's why we need our own spaces. So even in a foster care system, we need strong advocates who are going to specifically advocate for those children. And for me, my whole thing is for the sports world, for like after school programs, etc., for young males into sports, we need to do our part, men and women, and advocate for these younger children who are being outgrouped, being treated like outsiders, and being left out. We need to do the best we can to create an environment that fosters love, acceptance, and appreciation, so they grow up to be functional, healthy adults that are confident. We can't continue on letting these people be bullied like that, right? Or our people, I should say. Saying you are mulatto is claiming both you black and white side, though hence the term mulatto, right? But people like to act like they're confused about it, that we are asserting ourselves. An idiot said most biracials are anti-black. I'm sure she didn't do a survey. Who is that person who said that? Because yeah, because they wish they were us. They wish they were us, and they'll never will be. So they'll just throw out these hateful claims and conspiracy theories. And, you know, there's a lot of sad people who will buy into that, but not me. Anyways, guys, it's been splendid. I've been here for a minute. This is a second stream today. So it was my day off, but it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I love you guys. I'm doing this for you, beautiful people. This is all for you. I'm going to be back very soon tomorrow. And so I'll catch you guys next time. All right. So peace.